Oh, sorry I missed y'all last week. When you're a lich long enough, word gets around. These damn kids, they keep breaking into my lair and they're like, you're evil, we're gonna kill you. It's like, give me a break, I'm just trying to live my life. Anyways, I heard there's some werewolf stuff going on, so let's see how that turns out. Too many warlocks.
Timber werewolves. Timber werewolves. Can't emphasize this enough. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Too Many Warlocks. I, as always, am the benevolent Dungeon Master Puck, and we are once again to full power after we were missing some things last time, but we coped and we got by okay. I'm here today.
That was only 3 wheels on our cart. It didn't go very well.
We cannot tricycle.
Not super great tricycling, but I mean, stuff was done. So I'm here today to play a game of Dungeons & Dragons with these fine people here, these warlocks, and they are in no particular order. Everyone's favorite flamer, Key3 Tea Leaf. A one warlock with a side of mustache coming in with Guy Boutomps. And our good friend who, like a fine American sedan, comes with wood paneling, Mr. Richard Bennett.
Those things are damn ugly.
And everyone's favorite scholar and necromancy enthusiast, Mr. Penwright. When last we left our heroes, they had wandered into a village, a town, and the place is known as Traverse, as noted to us by our lovely people in the comment section. And they found that this logging town is actually filled with lycanthropes, werewolves. They spent the day drinking and finding out that Team Growl was also in this town and just happened to have come in and saved the town from some kind of brigand, some person who was threatening to bite and eat people. And they certainly didn't know this was happening. It was 100% accidental. But they're being celebrated as the town's heroes. And the warlocks noticed almost immediately that there was something wrong with the drinks here. And that, in fact, somebody was leeching necromantic energies into the drinks in the town as a method of kind of pre-prepping everybody for conversion into an undead horde. They stayed the night at the inn, and in the midst of various werewolf howls in the night of the full moon, Richard, let's go with bravely, decided to wander.
Let's not go with bravely. Pretty foolishly.
Decided to wander out into the streets and go looking around. And then in the night, a resident of this town was murdered. It was determined that perhaps the murderer was the man who was dispatched by Team Growl, come back from the dead. And then after an unsuccessful town hall meeting, everyone was drawn back to the inn where they met with Team Growl and saw that one of the Darrell brothers was looking awfully ill. And Penn, seeing an opportunity, ran up with his mighty handy and applied his handy. I'm a child, okay. Tried to use his hand to heal Darrell. And then in the midst of this ritual, Darrell had thrown his eyes open and bitten the hand. And everyone is screaming.
Jeez.
And that's where we drop in here, but that is only half the story. Because Key3 was drawn away for an emergency. She had been notified that some of her family had come by for a short visit to kind of check out the keep, and so she had to run over and tell them that this probably wasn't a really good time. But she's gone from that excursion and come back now. And Keither, you find yourself at the town. And you can hear almost immediately as you set foot into this small village of Traverse, you can hear the rest of your team screaming inside the inn.
Well, half the team. I'm unconscious.
Yeah. So, Richard is unconscious in a closet somewhere sleeping.
Oh.
You can hear the other half of the rest of the team screaming in a room in the inn.
I will run towards the screaming.
Did also catch the poisoner and figure out how they were getting this to happen.
That's true.
We
You did
figured out the poison. They were putting necrotics in the beer. So this town has been informed, and we got it.
Yeah, and now we have 2 barrels.
Now they got to drink whiskey.
Maybe someone very smart and fiery might be able to convince them to leave.
You run in, and you make your way to the screaming, and you throw open the door, and Rumble Snarl and Daryl are both like arms in the air screaming, and other Daryl is spitting out a zombie hand while Pan desperately tries to check on the hand and make sure it's okay.
What the hell is going on?
Oh,
Leave you guys alone for one day!
We
Handy,
miss you so much, eh?
Handy, is he okay? God.
Handy is okay.
Oh,
He appears all right.
okay. Hi, Keith.
What's wrong with other Daryl?
Oh, pedantic question. Is this E.L. Daryl or Y.L. Daryl?
This is YL Daryl.
Thank you. I need to know. Accurate notes are important.
Oh, absolutely. So YL Daryl is awake now, and Grumble Snarl and Daryl over there trying to check on him. Rumble Snarl, are you all right, Daryl? And he's like,
I want to look at Rumble Snarl and say, you ever see the play, the Old Yeller?
no.
It's about a dog and some people, and at the end of the play, the dog it gets rabies, and they have to kill it. The reason I'm telling you this is because you're Daryl. I think he's got the rabies,
Hey, look, I'm not killing my brother. I know I have 2 Daryls, but we're a trio.
Now
Besides, Daryl, you're going to pull through, right? Daryl's like,
he's kind of un-Daryl now. I mean, is he?
he does not look healthy.
Eyes of the living Daryl.
I could
Maybe-
try to. Oh, you go ahead.
I was just going to say maybe we should lock him, quarantine? If it's a sickness?
Well, come on, you guys are magic people. Don't you know how to heal somebody?
Hey, I just tried and he bit my hand. This hand, the other.
Is that like a healing hand? What is that?
Yes, that's exactly what it is, but only for undead stuff. That's all it can do.
Okay, but he's not undead. Like he's still Daryl. Are you undead?
He's definitely getting there. He's got some of the undead in him. I would know. I'm an
Get it
expert.
out.
Is he gonna? Are you gonna bite my hand again, Daryl?
Daryl was just startled. He's been a biter since he was a kid.
It's not okay. Anyway,
Daryl's like,
I'm gonna look at Handy. I'm gonna hold Handy by the wrist and be like, "Do you want to try again? You're the one that's really been affronted here. This is up to him, not me."
consulting the hand for advice.
Well, he got bit. That'd be like me being like, "Richard, I know this guy just stabbed you, but you gotta help him."
Exactly the same.
I think at that point, Richard, this guy just stabbed you, but you got to help him. And it's just, pardon me, the sword's already through
I'm
his.
already stabbing this guy back. Yeah, so Handy, in response to your question, is just kind of like,
Oh, I was really hoping that Handy, in response to the question, would just go,
yeah.
All right. Well, if you're indifferent, then I guess we're gonna try again, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna point at Rumble Snarl, and I'm gonna be like, make sure he doesn't bite me again. That's all. That's all, and I'll heal him. I'll fix it.
Okay, Daryl, don't bite the hand.
All right.
Don't bite the hand that heals you.
Exactly. All right, let's do it. Crack Handy's knuckles again. I'm gonna kind of hold his forehead with my other hand just in case, and just put him somewhere in the vicinity and let him try to draw the way he do, the way Handy do.
So, what everyone else sees
Oh god.
is Penn go up to this guy, put his hand on his forehead, and essentially rub this zombie hand on his face.
Uh-huh.
And Daryl's eyes are screaming. He's just like,
Uh-huh.
Does anything happen?
and Handy appears to be somewhat unable to do so.
Oh, and I'm like, well, you did your best, and I just kind of smack him on the cheek lightly, like you do that kind of like, it's okay, but we can't do nothing for you. And then I step back.
Okay, you
What
guys.
do you slap him with?
With Handy, it was like a gentle, just kind of like, hey, I'm sorry, bud, but
That's what I had in my head. Just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah.
I look at Rumblesnout and say, okay, despite the obvious provocation, if your buddy Daryl, if he starts attacking people, you got 1 second to put him down yourself, or I'm going to do it.
Okay, you guys are really jumping to conclusions over here.
Yeah, I am. I had a shitty week.
Doesn't anybody know how to cure a disease or something?
Do I?
I look around because I sure as hell don't.
There might be a thing that I might have forgotten about. I'm consulting my grimoire right now.
The Staff of Healing has many abilities.
I was
It
gonna
does,
say-
but there's a very specific one. It's the middle one that I never use. It's that one that kind of is dusty. So in my mind, my already forgetful mind, I'm like,
That's not what it's for.
yeah, it's for making sure that these three don't fall apart. Lesser restoration. I don't think that works on that though, does it? You tell me, GL.
Give it a try.
There's only one way to find out.
You know what
Wrap
happens?
him with the staff. You already rubbed that gross hand all over him.
The stick will probably.
Thin ice. I'm the one with the healing staff. This hand is beautiful and gorgeous, and I put him back under my hat. We don't have to take this abuse. Anyway, fine.
Okay, I changed my mind. He can eat that one. And I
Oh.
pointed back.
Anyway, I pull out the staff and I wave it around and I say the magic healy stuff of lesser restoration, and I'm just like, woo! And then boom, and I kind of pop him on the forehead with it.
The gray color starts to fade from him a bit. And he starts to become a bit of a healthier color.
I'll lean over to Guy and go, so why was he gray?
Well, they put necrosis in the beer, and he drank. He can't handle his alcohol. He got drunker than the rest of us. It kill you, and then it bring you back as a undead. That way, Black Wind just come through here, go with the whistling, and they all follow him to the keep and kill us all. That's the plan. But we fix it, so it's okay.
Okay, and I'm hoping Richard is not undead.
We wish.
No more than he was before, I don't think. I think in his head he's got maybe some root rot, but other than that, I think he's okay.
Fair
So
warning.
he's
And the
just-
cough.
Okay. Is he like sleepy?
did that. No, he did a really stupid thing last night. I'll tell you in a minute. I just want to make sure guy on the floor still ain't eating anybody.
Okay.
Then I whip
I
around.
miss you so much, Key3. It was terrible. Oh my God, we almost all died 2 times in 2 hours.
I whip around to Key 3 and point, and I'm just like, don't even get me started on last night. And like, you could just tell Penn didn't sleep well. I'm really on
They
it.
all just look like various stages of ragged and disheveled.
And I'm just full sass. I'm at 100% sass right now with everybody.
I was
look
gone
like
for
husband.
one day.
They look like a group of husbands that have been left alone for 3 days. That's what
It's like that episode of The Simpsons where Marge comes back and like everybody's tucked behind a barrier of rubble with a shotgun.
Oh, by the way, everybody in the town, they're werewolf, eh? So don't freak out if any of them start growing whiskers and shit. They're on our side.
Oh, well, I guess as long as they're on our side, then they can be whatever they want.
That is not completely true. There is one. There's two. Isn't there two? I think there's two that specifically are not. You were at that meeting. I was at that meeting.
One of them don't exist no more, eh? He's just a stain on the floor in the main hall.
No, he ran.
Citizens, eh?
No, not him. Remember the one? Oh shoot, Maria, was that her name?
Mm-hmm. That was the
Maria's
wife.
husband ran off. Remember?
Oh yeah, we got to hunt. We got to hunt 2 lycanthrope now. Eh? That's right. I forgot about that. The locals, they're going to help us, but I don't know why we're doing it. It's not really our fault, but I guess here we are. Eh? We're just supposed to be doing recon. That's all. But we fucked up. Key 3 is bad.
We.
While this is happening, Richard, you're back in the town hall on the floor, having a nap.
A pile of blood.
Yeah, just like slick down the side. And you're nudged on the side by a heavy maul.
And he's like, 20 minutes.
You got 20 minutes, but we got to go collect your friends.
Cool.
And you look up, and Bradley, the bartender, is there, and he's got this heavy iron maul.
Look, if I don't get at least 30 minutes of sleep, and it's been 10 minutes so far, I am no use to anyone. So if you'll excuse me.
Okay, we'll come back and pick you up. Do you want a blanket or anything? Or?
Nah.
Okay.
Richard, because it's a short rest. He's doing a short rest at the moment.
Yeah.
And he'll gain all them back. Casts plant growth and just creates like a blanket of moss.
You're gonna clean up my storage room after this. Okay.
Sure, we will. I mean,
Gotta learn blight to make it go away.
And he takes off back to the inn, and he eventually walks in on you guys. So you all recognize Bradley the bartender, except for you, Key 3, who hasn't met him yet. And he says, "Oh, you have a new friend."
Hi, I'm Key 3 Tea Leaf.
Hi, I'm Bradley. I'm the bartender / mayor. I'm not sure what the official title is.
Ah, nice to meet you.
Of Traverse here. Nice to meet you too. So I don't know if your friends told you, but we got a little bit of a problem here. Two of my locals have been turned into undead. Originally one, and then one killed the other one, and it looks like he escaped, and they're in the woods somewhere, and we got to nip this now.
Okay.
Are you here to help?
I'm always here to help.
Okay, so we're going hunting.
On the bright side, Key 3, to see if they were safe. Think about it. What's safer than a town full of lycanthrope? Eh? The undead are not. If they attack here, they're going to get wiped out. So we don't have to worry about these people. At least just the 2 of them we have to go and kill. Eh?
Yeah, as long as no more turn undead, because undead werewolf sounds terrifying.
These for sure, that's for sure. But we figure out how they're turning undead. They put in the beer, eh? So we pour out all the rotten. Well, no, we were going to pour out all the rotten beer, and then somebody had to keep necrotic beer because it's special. Like make you one guess who.
Oh, Penn.
So he's standing right there.
I have it now. We have 2 barrels of the stuff for science and, magic and stuff. We also have all these, and I hold open a bag full of corks with blackened ends.
Well, it's good to keep them. Perhaps we can have the alchemist guy maybe come up with a antidote.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that's cool too.
But in the medium run, after we kill these 2 lycanthropes or capture, hopefully we capture them. Maybe if these guys want to keep them. I don't know what the rules are here about going loco. But after that, we got to go to all the other villages and make sure they don't got the poison beer too, eh?
Oh, yes.
Otherwise, we're looking at 6 villages full of undead, eh?
We assume they're both undead, correct? Because the one was slain by another one, and that means he was dead, but he probably drank the beer enough for the primer to activate because he got up off the table and left. So,
why don't we go hunting and go see?
Yeah, and before we go out, Bob, you want them dead or alive? Hey, it's your call, eh?
Dead. We need them dead. But okay, so I think we missed some things during that atrocity of a town meeting. You guys know the asshole who did this?
Keith?
The one from the town?
No, the guy who gave the stuff to Keith.
Oh, yeah. He's an asshole, like you said.
But you know him.
Kinda.
He's not a friend of ours. He's more of an adversary.
He's coming to kill us, is the short answer, eh?
When is he coming to kill you?
20-something days. Who's been counting?
But if he's not lying, 25, 26 days. But he's a prick, so he's probably here 2 days from tomorrow, eh?
Okay.
That's why we came here. We think he's targeting nearby towns to turn them to be part of his undead army.
All right, I don't want to tell you guys how to do your job. Maybe lead with that next time.
I look at Guy with daggers because that was my idea from the get-go, and they were all like, no, we don't want to freak him out. No, I don't want your laugh track.
No, I don't want it. Okay. He says, all right, so tell you what. You help me put these guys down for good.
For sure.
When that day comes and this dude comes to your town, you'll have my most able-bodied werewolves to assist you.
I lean over to Guy and go, we have werewolves on our side. Yes.
I just reach up and do the little fist bump.
Reach up?
Down?
Down. I'm sitting. It's morning. I just reach straight out sideways and fist bump.
It's just like whip around. It's just like, yes. It's just like, we are not allowed to have fun here.
And in the midst of everything, Rumble Snarl runs up to you, Penn, and grabs it, like falls to his knees in front of you. Oh, you saved my brother. You're my hero.
I'm so glad. I'm so happy.
I need a drink, eh? It's breakfast, right?
I'm sorry he bit your magic hand.
Oh my God, I can't. It all just hit me. Oh God. All right. Let me recompose for a second.
This
all
one,
right.
Look left, look right. Oh, wait, shit. Where's Woody?
He's
Yeah,
not-
he's
That's what I was asking you.
he's asleep in my storage room. I told him to come. He said he needed a little bit more time.
Oh, I'm gonna look down at Rumble Snarl and I'll be like, I do expect a promotion.
Oh, of course. Executive Vice President.
Perfect.
All right.
I add that in my little book of. I have a list of all the titles we've earned.
Executive Vice President of Team Growl.
Wow.
His business card is now 6 inches square.
Yeah.
All titles.
Have 20 minutes passed? Because we could walk in.
Yeah, no, you eventually get up and saunter over.
Yeah, I take that blanket of moss and I just kind of tie it around like a cape, just covering my wooden side.
Like a mossy kilt.
No, more like a cape that goes from here, but just
Oh, like okay, like side drape.
yeah,
Okay.
just kind of walks over.
It's like, oh, good, you're awake. So who wants to go hunt some
we
undead
start where
werewolves?
the north side of Richard is, eh? It's all
Okay.
covered in moss.
Oh, I see.
Well, they're awful when you have to explain them. Eh? That really sucks.
That's why I made you explain this.
Yeah.
So Richard immediately just kind of summons his longsword out.
So, do we have an agreement? Can I get you guys to help me hunt these guys down, and then we can?
That is a deal.
All right.
I was going to do it anyways.
And key 3, I'm sorry, eh?
4.
But you go away, we're more or less in control. You come back, we say, hey, how you doing? Let's go kill some undead werewolf, and then we go home, eh? Yeah, sure, for sure, like no problem.
I mean, it seems pretty par for the course.
This is consistent. I wish I could say I was surprised.
We need to just get this night over with so I can sleep it off. So I can get back to being reasonable.
Rumblesnarl says, hey, if you need anything, you let me know. Because you saved my brother. And I owe you.
I almost want them. This is a tough decision.
Do you have any fake eyes?
Any fake eyes?
No.
Okay, well,
Why would I have that?
You've been cooler if you did.
anyway, honestly, I love you guys, and I believe in Team Growl, and I might need you. How about, and I'm going to turn to the other 3 and real quick do a very quick
Just invite them.
grab my cloak huddle kind of thing. Just,
Guys, go
Like-
cuddle.
okay, I think we should send them to the keep. I think they could be useful. I don't want the others to kill them when they get there, but I think they could be useful, and they do owe us.
I think maybe with the caveat of no stealing from the keep.
That's fair.
It's good.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to them and be like,
Wait a minute, eh? On their way there, they're going to pass through at least one of the little town, eh?
Oh,
scouting party.
No, we tell them go in. They're sneaky as fuck, eh? They go in at night. They take all the beer. They break the keg so that nobody. I mean, look at them. They're not going to be able to talk people out of all that beer. They have to wreck it in the middle of the night, eh? But we send them on a mission, eh?
That
We
seems
tell them
fair.
it's a test, eh? If they do it good, if they break all the beer in 2 villages on the way there, then they are members of the keep, like we are members of Team Growl, eh?
Like an initiation.
Oh shoot!
Like
All
a,
right,
like a test, almost like an audition, eh?
all right, Mr. Investigator. That sounds like a plan. I have an idea, and so I turn to them.
Not used to you being this smart.
I turn to them and I say, okay. And I'm essentially going to relay the same thing that Guy just said. I'm going to say, if you really owe us, if you really believe in this, then come to Avalon Keep, and on the way pass through. I'm going to say, how many towns were there total that we were supposed to be checking out?
I believe it was 6 total.
I believe it was
That's
6
fun.
total.
So it's
I
just
don't
a matter
really-
of how many are on the way back, right?
Yeah.
There was 6 total. Half Staff, Traverse, Swift Currents, Lart, Town, and Red Larch.
Wait, one of them is town.
One of them
Yeah,
is
we're
Town.
going to that one.
Yes.
Okay, so which ones are like relatively close to the keep, like as far as on their way back?
The next closest one would be Swift Currents.
Okay, so I'm going to tell them, I'm going to say, go to Swift Currents on the way to Avalon Keep. And as I'm saying this, I'm going to be like writing out a little rough map in case they don't know.
It's
And,
like a note pinned to their lapel.
Yeah.
Found return to Avalon Knights Academy.
And I'm going to say, stop by this town and destroy their beer barrels in the night. Do not be seen. Do not let them know who you are. But leave a note, and I'm going to jot down a note real quick, and I'm going to attach with a pin or something one of those corks that we found. And I'm going to say, leave a note with this cork on the barrels that you smash, and the note essentially says, hey, these barrels are full of undead contaminant. If you need proof, just test this cork. I swear. And that's it. There's no signature. There's no nothing. Just that. And I'm going to say leave that at the scene and get back to Avalon Nights and no stealing at the keep. That's my rules. Those are our rules as your vice president. And since you owe me, and that is if you want to be a part of this, that's how you can do it.
I'm also going to hand them one of the flyers that I made of the, like, if you see anything weird going on, notify Avalon Keep.
If you see something, say something.
Yeah. And tell them, post this up in, like, on the tavern door or someplace very public.
Okay, I think we can do this. I'll be honest, I can't read. But we need to have a Team Growl meeting. And he like grabs you pen, pulls you into the huddle because he just made you vice president. And he's like, I don't know, guys. I mean, do we really want to be tied down to another organization? I think we work best as independent contractors.
I'm just like, yeah, you do make a good
and
point.
Daryl with a Y full on throws up in the middle of the huddle.
Oh, God. I'm just going to be like, you know what? That is a good point. I do really like our independence that we maintain. But, you know, I really think this is a good opportunity for us to really grow, you know, diversify, really join another bigger group and really broaden our band as a subsect of that. I think that would be really good for our branding.
We could
job security.
We could definitely, we could subcontract the brand through them.
Yeah.
You're really good. This is why we made you vice president. Isn't that right, Daryl? And Daryl are nodding and nodding.
Thank God they have an intelligence of less than 10.
Puck, I swear to God, if I end up being like the owner of Team Growl by the end of this, I'm actually going to be a little upset because then I'm just going to have 3 children to take care of.
You've adopted these creatures now.
And so I'm like, yeah, I think that's the best plan. This is my Team Growl voice.
All right. Well, let's put it to a vote of the key members of Team Growl. All in favor, and everybody puts their hands up. All right, let's go ahead with it. So he puts you out of the huddle, steps to the side, stands by Gerald. We have decided to accept your proposal.
We did. I mean, yes, they did. I mean, anywho, well, that's that. You guys get on that. We trust you. I love you, but we have to go. We got to go hunt undead. So what happened to him doesn't happen to everybody else.
That's a good plan. If we see anything else weird, what should we do?
Run to Avalon Keep as fast as possible. Do not stop and alert Calazar and let them know. And also, you should I'm going to go ahead and put this in writing. Another note on another paper, and I'm gonna draw a symbol on it so he knows. It's gonna be a heart on the outside of it, and I'm gonna be like, the one with the heart is to give to Calazar or whoever at the keep when you get there. It literally just says, hey, these guys are with us. They're relatively trustworthy.
Okay, it's all right. I can't read, but Daryl's an English major.
Oh, well, there you go.
This explains why he doesn't speak.
So there's that. Even that. They have everything they need other than food and a place to stay.
Well, we
You
get
have
those
a
as
very high opinion of their operative intelligence. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
hey, we operate at the highest intelligence.
You drank with them, you.
I didn't say I was any better, right? I wouldn't trust me with that complicated mission you gave me. Them, not me. Where's breakfast? Beers, and back inside.
No, there's no. What wasn't the beer
Sorry.
bad?
Sorry, whiskey. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no.
What the hell happened to my fairy wine? You owe me like 50 gold.
I remember parts of it. It was kind of sweet, eh? Such a tiny little container.
So these undead werewolves that we
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure. We
Yeah,
got one
sorry,
thing.
I kind of got lost in this elaborate play working out in front of me. Yeah, the werewolves. It's best to hit them at night, so another couple hours we should head into the forest. That's when they'll be hunting, and they'll find us. Otherwise, we're going to have a hard time finding them in any hidey hole they happen to be in. And it's a lot of woods.
Quick question. Would there be any kind of scents that would attract them? Like, I don't know, a flower like honeysuckle?
Depends on what they're looking for. I mean, I imagine they'd be attracted to
Flesh.
blood, smell of meat. I mean, the places that they went to lead me to believe that they're maybe going to things that they do in life.
Cool, let's do that then.
Because
Let's go to the forest.
the first guy, he always had eyes for Maria, and, well, we all know what happened there.
Richard just kind of put his knife against the skin. Let's do this.
But
Why?
is there any like you mentioned there was somebody who got attacked? Is there any like just blood lying around that we could put on a rag? And
Well, I think we're missing a point. He went for Maria. He didn't get Maria. He's probably going to go for Maria again. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say Maria's husband is probably going to go back to Maria. But that's just, a shot in the dark.
No, I shouldn't cut myself to open up blood and make them.
No, you suicidal maniac. Stop.
What?
Why don't we ask the guy who actually knows him?
Are you guys, like, does this happen a lot? Is this like
This
an
never
ongoing-
stops, man. It don't get no better
Okay.
than this. Even when she's here, it don't get no better than this.
Okay.
I'm
But
just
you know him, eh? You know these guys, these ones we are hunting. So why don't you tell me what they're going to do, eh? You hunt them when they go bad before, right?
I know when the change is over you, you're probably going to go looking for prey. And I know neither one of them was particularly fond of me, so maybe I'm the bait.
So far, I like where this is going, eh? So we follow you. You go to them. They attack you. We attack them. We kill them. We come back. We go home. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, more or less.
Cool, let's do this.
I turn to Key 3 and mutter under my breath. It's been a stressful 24 hours. I'm trying to hold it together, but it's not going well. So you're going to have to help me out here because these two, I'm this close.
Did Richard hear any of that?
I was whispering. So unless you just we're being real nosy.
He says, all
Because
right.
no, Richard just kind of wants to go, he's right,
maybe we should have a talk when this is all done. But
Yeah.
Hey, if
First-
he lives, eh?
undead werewolves.
All right,
Yeah.
undead werewolves marching out
So-
the door.
First,
Get your stuff ready. I got my maul. Let's go.
Richard's
Don't
already
get
some
them all.
his blade of grass.
What?
What?
So I pull out 3 gold and put it on the counter and fill a water bottle with whiskey.
All right.
My flask with whiskey.
So-
I'm gonna go ahead and use Armor of Shadows. Just
I still have armor of
Prepare.
Agathis on.
You do still have armor of Agabus on.
I'm shiny. Woo.
All
So,
I can think about is that Moana song now. Damn you, Disney.
I can't do this. Okay.
I can't say that at you, Disney.
So,
Oh,
oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. Okay, we're good. I touched the wrong thing and then I shuffled myself. I apologize.
Don, you're in charge. Go.
I'm so sorry for what I did.
Mutiny!
I know, it's terrible. I clicked the wrong thing. All right, so Bradley takes you guys to the edge of the woods as the sun is going down. And as night falls fully, he says, give me a minute. I need to get into uniform.
You gonna go put on a Lady Gaga meat suit?
And as the sun sets, he lurches over and begins to change and sprouts fur all over the place and grows in size, bulks up. His hands grow and spread out into long claws, and his face extends out into a large snout, and he's covered in this black-gray fur from head to toe.
Quick question. How much does that hurt?
A lot, but it depends on the night. It's all about moon phases. I don't have a lot of time to go into it.
Cool. Note to self, become werewolf.
Become also werewolf.
All right, my friend, let's hunt, eh?
Let's go. And I'm going to make this werewolf bouncer.
What am I looking?
I had a lot more confidence in him until about 5 seconds ago.
What?
Because he will be easily discernible from other.
Why does he have a clipboard?
Because he's a bouncer, Pan. If you're not on the list, he can't let you in. That's how this works.
Oh my god.
So there's kind of a winding path that moves through the forest here. And it's very tight. The canopy kind of pulls in all around you. It's very dark and it's very quiet.
I'm going to make my way up to that blood stain over there.
How can you see it from here?
You can't see that. If you're going to make your way to something, make something within your character's purview.
Darkness, right? Yeah, we're in actual darkness.
Yeah, you're in actual darkness.
Okay, and I'm assuming the trees more or less block line of sight, so we can basically just see the trail.
Yeah, it's very thick. So you can kind of see this trail, and right in front of you is the hole that they dug to bury this guy in the previous night. And it's kind of all opened up now.
Oh, the one I dug up.
Yeah.
Is this a concern to anybody? I point at the hole.
That's the guy we're hunting, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, so like
People don't like to stay down when you put them down, eh?
dead and then.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, the Knoll and the two humans, they showed up and attacked him after he turned on the city. Nobody was injured, thankfully, and we were celebrating before all this havoc unfolded, which I really love it when you guys come to visit. Thanks for this.
This is our first time to visit.
Yeah. I've never been here, and I
Don't
don't
say
like
it like
town
we do
anyway.
this every time. I mean, technically, by statistics, it's every time, but it's only been one time.
All right, fair enough. We'll see how it goes next time. Let's find a werewolf. So, you guys want me to take point, or how do we want to do this?
I'll take points.
Yeah, I'm not so great in the woods, so.
Usually you put the bait at the front, don't you, eh? You said he wants you dead.
They're not fond of me. You know how it is. The boss is always an asshole, right? Okay.
Well, don't go more than 60 feet away or I can't see the shit out of you at all, eh?
He starts slowly kind of moving forward through the forest.
And apparently Willow's going with him, eh?
He's right up close.
That's your new nickname now. That's
Yeah,
it.
Willow.
It was Woody. It was Woody, now it's
No,
Willow. I'm
It's
sorry.
advancing.
Willow is a badass character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I see.
and also a character in another movie.
Neither of which are direct references to what I'm doing because I'm not paying anybody to use this word.
Fine.
It's just a word. Small W Willow. It's after the tree.
So Bradley gets to about here, and he starts examining the ground.
Maybe our investigator should also take a look.
Yeah, there's tracks here. Looks like they've been coming through. Looks like they got together.
Make a baby.
What?
You said they got together. Oh, you mean okay? Never mind. I'm back here.
They've formed a pack. All right. I want
Oh, boy.
Guy, Pen, and Key 3 to make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And I should probably look at it. Okay. There we go. Key 3, you notice something moving through the trees.
Where?
I'll poke Penn since he's right in front of me and point towards the trees and go, something's out there.
Where is she pointing?
She is pointing to your right.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Oh. I real quick, I'm gonna turn to her and I'm gonna be like, I think I should yell. And I'm gonna shout to the others and be like, it's coming! There's something on the right or behind you, Richard. Because I mean, I gotta know if it's coming, it's too late. Like, and I've got my dagger out. Oh yeah, we're playing dagger this time.
I need to check one thing, and I don't think it has a range.
Okay.
And if it does, I think I can cover this entire forest.
What are you checking?
I'm checking my spell plant growth.
Hey, those are awfully on top.
100-foot radius.
100-foot radius.
So 20 feet in all directions.
Okie dokie.
Or if I do it in it says radius, so it's from where I am. Yeah.
Depends on what the range is.
All right. So leaping out of the trees, the first thing that hits you, Penn, is the stench. Just incredibly foul, rotten smelling, rotted flesh. And then a very large werewolf hits you and attempts to tackle you down, biting at you with its massive jaws.
Yay, at least it'll take some cold damage.
Oh, Jack dice. Oh. All right, but it only comes down on you with a whole big whopping 12 versus your AC.
If it matches your armor class.
If it matches your armor class, ties go to defender.
So it hits it just because of that ring I have. We clash and it, I don't know, however that flavor.
You managed to keep your vital bits out of his jaws as he attempts to fly at you. And then he decides to not do anything because he only has the one action. Oh, no, wait, he does have two actions. All right, so then he tries to slash at you with his claws while you hold away his jaws. And he rolls even worse. So you're able to fend off this surprise attack very easily. While Penn is distracting you, Guy, this other one comes at you and tries to bite and claw at you.
Yep.
And he gets a big old 12 and a big old 11.
Both hit. My AC is 11. So.
Okay.
Wait, wouldn't the 11 not hit you?
Yeah, ties should go to defender.
Oh, okay.
So
in that case, only one hit.
Only one hit? Okay. All right, so you take the 12 is the bite. Okay, so you take 4 damage from the bite.
Yep.
And then I need you to make a Constitution save.
All right.
To not turn into a werewolf.
Okay, you're good. So now we're in initiative, guys, because these guys just leaped out on you.
Ooh, that's not great.
My initiative is always so bad.
Mine used to be really good, and now it's just crap all the time.
I'll tell you what, Guy's ready to go. All right.
Time actually makes sense. Yes.
And Brad is not so much ready to go. All right, Guy, you're up.
All right. First, I just leap back into the trees, so he's going to get an attack of opportunity on me.
Okie dokie. He's attempting to slash at you with his claws. And he pulls a big old 17 out with his claws.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, you take 5 slashing damage, and I need you to make another Constitution save.
Yeah.
You made it. You're okay. No ill effects.
So far, so good.
So
And
far,
then,
so good.
For my action, I do Thief of 5 Fates, which casts Bane on them.
Okay.
Because I can see them, so they get -4 on all their attacks and all their saves.
Okie dokie.
At level 3. Sweet. Yeah, charisma saves.
All right. They are at -4 on all of their charisma saves.
Oh, no, they have to make a charisma save.
Oh,
or
they have
they're
to make a
-4
charisma save.
on everything. Yeah, against
Okay.
Spell save DC 15.
15? All right. They could probably not make that because their charisma is lowered by the fact that they're dead. Yeah, a 1 and a 3. So,
Yeah.
no, they're not making anything.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we've got... not the best thing. We've got our other guy here, so he's going to try and make another bite attack at Pen, and slashing with his claws. So for that bite, he gets not enough, not enough on anything, and then he attempts to disappear back into the trees. So Pen, if you want, you can make an opportunity attack against him as he backs up into the trees and starts to move away from you.
I do want to do it, and I need to ask a question because I just realized, because my research didn't fully go through, I never got the stats for this weapon that I'm holding. I have this dagger, this ice dagger in my hand that I was going to try to use.
Okay.
And do I just roll a d20 to roll that?
Roll your d20, add your proficiency and your dex.
All right. That would be... So just a +3. So whatever this is, +3.
All right. 17?
Yeah.
All right. That is enough to hit him. So you nail him with that dagger.
I don't know what it does. It's
That dagger. Roll a d4 of damage for me and a d6.
All right. D4, D6.
All right. As you plunge the dagger into it, the mouth on the dagger opens wide and a blast of cold comes out onto the creature, dealing additional damage and slowing its movements.
Whoa. I love it.
Wow.
Just for reference, which one is the cold, the 4 or the 6?
The 6.
Okay.
Regular damage for dagger is a d4.
Gotcha. Beautiful. Nice ice aesthetic we have going on here.
Yeah, no, you got a thing going on. But he does still continue to move and he disappears into the trees. Next up, we've got... You have key 3.
Oh, okay. Can I pass through pen space, or do I have to go into the tree?
You can move. You're small. You can move through him.
Okay.
I like to imagine it's just a running slide.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, I do have halfling nimbleness.
I had to step forward anyway to get that attack, so.
So I'll run up and I will swing at him with my duelist companion.
all right.
Is that it? I think that's the right one.
Whew, that'll do it. So you slash at him with Duelist Companion, blade ignites, lights up the forest, and he cries out in pain. And as your blade illuminates him, the eyes are all white. And there's patches of fur missing from this werewolf form, and you can still see the wounds on it beginning to decay. It's just a horrid, ghastly creature.
Yep, this is the undead one, and I will stab it again.
It's definitely undead. Stabbity. All right, so you slash at it again for further damage, and your blade sears as it cuts into this moist, rotting flesh.
Yeah, and that's my turn.
That's you go. All right. Next up, we've got... Is it Penn or Richard?
It's Pen.
Yeah, it's Penn.
All
I'm
right.
like 0.1 worse than him.
No, 0.2.
So my question is, can I move through these trees, or is it like rough terrain, or
It is rough terrain to move through the trees.
so it's just double movement?
Yes.
Can
So,
don't go through the trees.
You're
What?
human, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You are stone blind.
I can't
There's
see
no
forward.
light source.
There's no light source other than Key 3's blade. Well, no, in the current place that you're in,
course.
you can see the thing Key 3's fighting because her blade is lit up like a flame.
So can I move diagonally in and then up? Like seeing this, can I do this number right here? Like around it?
You can, but it's going to take a swing at you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it's engaged. Never mind. I'm not. Well,
Okay.
we're going to go with no.
Okay.
Go for it.
Either way, I would do it. So I'm
All right.
going to get up behind him, and I am flanking, which I forget the rules of, but...
You're not a rogue, so don't worry about it.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, then I'm just going to try to stab this thing in the back with my ice dagger, go for a little fire and ice action here.
Okie dokie.
That's not great. So
No, that
20
is
plus
not.
3 is a 10 to hit?
Yeah, no, that's you want a higher number than that. So the creature kind of turns around and snarls, and as it does, like viscous blood bubbles up from the wound in its throat.
Grody.
And following that, we go with Richard.
Cool. No one is in the forest on this end. All right. Over in this forest area.
No one that you can see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I meant like no one in my party. So
yeah.
I'm gonna do something. I'm going to. Yeah, this is. I'm gonna see if I'm going to move up to about here,
Okay.
and then I'm going to cast plant growth to grow the trees together to either trap or crush the lovely fellow that is hiding in the woods.
All right. Give me a D100 roll.
D100?
Yeah.
Cool.
See if luck is on your side with this rampant plant growth.
Which one is... Do I just click fudge?
There should be, if you go under there and go...
Or is it advanced dice roller?
Yeah, it's advanced dice roll. So if you go advanced dice roll, and then there should be D100 at the bottom.
67.
67. All right. Luck is on your side. So you don't see it, but the trees grow up. God, my dice are so shitty today. Okay. So the trees grow up and begin this thick bramble gets even tighter, and you hear a yelp inside. But you're not sure exactly what happened.
I have enough of a feeling. Richard's gonna smile. I'm gonna smile.
You gonna smile?
Yeah.
All right.
And I can't do anything else. If I could swing with my sword, but that's a attack twice thing, not a...
Yeah, that's after the action. All right. Next up, we've got Brad. Brad starts moving through the trees. He's using all kinds of crazy werewolf moves. He like gets on all fours, jumps, bounces off one tree trunk and lands beside and goes to slash at this dude. He gets out his heavy maul and tries to bring it right down on his head. And he misses completely because I cannot roll today. And next up, we go with this guy here who you've all surrounded heartedly. So he begins to lash out. And first thing he's going to do is he's going to attempt to bite Key 3 because she has the Hurdy Blade. And he comes to chomp down at Key 3 with a 13 versus AC.
That misses.
All right. And then he follows that up with some claws.
Still in key 3, or...
Yeah, still on Key 3 because nobody else really hit him. And that is a little bit better. That's 16.
That is my armor class. So
Okay, well, that's tied to defender then. So you still dodge. You parry this bite, and then you parry the claws quickly with your sword as it's gnashing out at you. And with this creature being unable to find purchase with any of its attacks, attempts to make way for this thick forest and runs past these two people here who can get some opportunity attacks in. So,
quick question. Does attacking with my packed longsword, will Thirsting Blade still affect that?
I think it's only an attack, not on a reaction.
Reaction. Yeah.
Cool.
It only works on your action.
So give me those swings, everybody.
Oh.
All right, it's 8.
So D20.
Oh, God.
Mine's a 13 to hit.
13 hits as well. So all 3 of those. And how does Bradley do? Poorly. Bradley does poorly, and he just misses. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day. All right, give me that damage.
6 cold and 2 regular for me. So
That's a decent amount of damage. All right, 18 plus 8. Oh, God. That was a poor move on his part because he is gravely wounded as he retreats into the forest.
Can he get through very far?
He's very agile. It doesn't create like a wall with your plant growth, but he's still able to find branches and things to grab and swing from and move through.
But I imagine it's even rougher terrain than it used to be.
Oh yeah, no, it's even rougher than it used to be, and certainly his previous abilities are having to be called upon. But anyways, so they've both retreated into the forest, and you guys can't find them. And now we go back to the top of the round with Guy.
Well, I actually have dark vision. 60 feet. So can I see them?
Give me a perception check, because they are obscured partially.
Sure.
So I need you to find them. All right, you can pick out the one. You can pick out this guy.
And he appears to be hung up in the brambles as far as I can tell. Or?
Yeah, he's like supporting himself on one tree branch, and he's covered in like scratches, and there's chunks of branches and stuff sticking out of him now. But he's supporting himself on one branch, and his legs are on the trunk of the tree, and he's scanning down to look for an opportunity right now.
And numbnuts, the fight's over here, and I cast Infestation. I like to think that it's in the form of
Lice?
Fleas. Yeah,
Fleas.
Fleas. Yeah.
All right.
So he gets a DC 15 con save.
Oh, goody. No. I can't roll over 10 today, guys. It's not going to happen.
So he takes 5 poison and is pushed, if he can move, he's pushed 5 feet west, which I guess would pull him back towards us.
Oh, no. And he's up in a tree. Okay, let's see. I'm going to give him a dex save on this.
Yeah, because he just starts itching.
So you hit him with that blast while he's up in the tree, and he gets distracted and loses his hold on the branches and begins to fall down through the brambles, through the woods, and takes a substantial amount of additional damage on top of that.
Excellent.
In these thick trees. It's like he like hits 3 branches going down, and because the woods are so thick, he like bounces off some tree trunks now. It's a bad scene.
The Homer skateboard accident?
Yeah, like full on all the way through. All right.
I like to think he lands like 10 feet away from Key 3, and because of her flaming blade, she can see him.
So after that, it's his turn. He gets up and makes a leap towards Key 3.
Oh, I thought I was helping. Sorry.
Just vicious and feral. But this time he actually gets good with the bite, and he rolls a 21 on his bite attack.
Yeah, that hits.
Okie dokie. So you take 9 piercing damage from the bite, and I'm going to need you to make a Constitution save for me, please. That is a good Constitution save. No fursuit for you today. You are also you deflect the claw attacks that follow up with that. You're still able to grab Dooley's companion, and no claws, not today. And he's got nowhere else to go, so he's just going to stay there. After that, we go to Keytree.
I'm going to look him straight in the eye and go, "You made a horrible decision." And stabby, stabby.
Meet a powerful enemy this day. That's good stab damage.
Oh,
But
by the way,
you want
that's
higher numbers on the on the damage portion of it.
3 with their sword out. It just says stabby, stabby underneath it.
So you unsheath your flaming blade again and pierce through the heart of this creature, and it howls in pain and is seared by your flames.
And I will
Follow that up.
slash at it again.
All right.
And not
Follow that up with a
so well.
slash, but it's able to deflect you with its own claws as its glazed over undead look drools at you.
Rat. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay, and
Quick interruption. When it hit key 3, did it do so by less than 4? Because did you roll the bane on it? Minus 1 to 4 on that attack.
When it hit with the bite,
no.
it got 19.
21, would it have
Yeah.
made a difference? Okay. Never.
Yeah, no.
Sorry,
So-
my bad. It's up to me to remind you that my spell's in fact. So
No, it's a problem. All right. So, Keith, I also need you to make another Constitution save for me.
Oh, no.
You're all right. You are not overcome by the stench of this rotting creature.
Oh, that's what that is.
Ah,
Yes. Next up, we've got after Keith, we go Pen.
Oh man. Let me ask you something because I've always had this question. I know you can grapple things. If you run and attempt to tackle something, does that do any damage?
It depends on how you do it.
All right. Well,
Tell me the story, Mr. Penwright. Tell me the story about Penwright's tackle of the werewolf.
so I'm really upset because like everything was going really absurdly well, and today was finally turning around, and because I'm angry, I'm just salty. Today was just not. Last night, and the one person I was actually glad to see today just got bit. And so, like, I'm all raring to go, and then I turn around and see something jump out of the woods and bite. And I see it goes well, but I'm still upset. And so I'm just like, screw it. I've got Armor of Agathis. So I just sprint forward and running tackle this guy. And I'm like, I'm going to freeze you to death or I'm going to die trying. And that's how it goes.
All right, give me an athletics
Oh.
roll on this.
Oh dear.
Okay. And now his opposing athletics.
With a negative.
Yep. -1d.
Please.
No, only on attacks and saves.
Oh,
No, well, it doesn't matter because he only rolled a 5.
yes.
So, being undead, I guess a lot of the muscle tendons aren't attached where they're supposed to be, and you full on tackle this creature to the ground and it is prone, and it begins taking damage from your Armor of Agathis.
I'm imagining that it's not like it was knocked off of its feet, and when I say that, I mean quite literally.
Like the feet are still standing.
Still there. But Pen and him are on the ground.
And how much damage is this Armor of Agathis?
when he attacks me, so if you want to do it the same, it's 15 at this point.
15? All right, he takes
15
15
cold
damage from your Armor of Agathis, and you can see almost immediately as you're pressing down on him, this cold is taking over this body. But I'm also going to need you to make a Constitution save.
But I love the smell of undead. It's like I should get advantage from that.
Not this one.
All right.
You're good. You guys are on the spot with Constitution saves. No one's becoming a werewolf today.
This is my jam, dude.
It smells like a teenager with too much Axe on.
Yeah, basically. That's what's happening. All right. Next up, we've got Richard.
All right, I'm going to go into the woods.
Okay.
About here,
Okay.
and I imagine that's as far as I can go because of rough terrain.
Okay. When you get to about that point, lashing out from the bushes, you get an opportunity attack from this gentleman here who was standing right there.
I guessed pretty damn close.
You did. He slashes out at you, and that's a big number. He slashes out at you with a 21 minus 1, so 20. Does that break your AC?
Oh no!
Oh no!
It just barely makes it's. The 21 is 10 plus my AC.
Okay, well,
I am.
you are hit. You take 8 slashing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution save.
Cool. I'm happy I regained that 3 because of the ring.
Ah,
I'm just gonna say I added that 3 because it's been more than 10 minutes,
oh yeah,
and each one it's a D6. So Constitution save, right?
yeah. You're fine. What poison?
Yeah. And because he made the attack of opportunity, I wouldn't have known where he was otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So he has revealed himself now.
Literally, my plan was to go, werewolf, come on, boy, come out and play.
Here, Mr. Werewolf. All right, well, he's on you. Did you want to make an attack roll on him?
I make 2 attack rolls.
All right.
Attack long swords.
Ho!
The first one misses, that's totally fine. Oh, but on the second one, I use Eldritch Smite.
Actually, both of those hit.
Oh, I know. On the second one, especially, though.
Oh, okay.
The first one is just to kind of slash through. The second one kind of buries itself deep.
And then you follow up with the smite.
Smite, which is spell slot. So I use my last spell slot and deal 3d8 damage.
Okay.
The 14.
All right, you annihilate this second werewolf.
Who's a bad boy?
So the second cut buries into it, the force of your Eldritch Smite bursts out of it.
Just roots kind of exploding through.
Oh yeah, no, it wraps around it. It's like the end of Fern Gully. It just like wraps around it and encases it in this thick bramble tree as the corpse goes limp. Yeah, we got Fern Gully references, y'all. All right.
Oh man, you must be so much older than I thought you were. You get all these references from way
I
back.
get these references.
I've seen Fern Gully.
Yeah, and he's a baby, you know.
And I'm younger than he is.
Babysit my brother's kids. I watched that friggin' show 4 times a day for almost a year.
Okay, we can't talk about Fern Gully. All right, next up is Brad, and he is going to run up and he yells, "Move your head, bookworm!"
What if I don't? No, I'm kidding.
Well, it doesn't matter because he misses anyway.
Oh well.
Brad is useless.
Come on,
It was a
Brad.
natural- I'm kind of hoping that if it was a natural one, he hits pen instead.
It
Not
was-
because I hate pen. It's because it would be funnier that way.
It's not quite a natural one, but it's not a high number either. All right, next up is Richard. Or not Richard. Guy. Back at the top of the round with Guy.
Yeah,
He's going to move.
No, who moved me? No, I'm staying.
No,
back.
that was me.
Not that close. I'll stand back here and cast Infestation at the bugger.
Okay.
Hey,
Still
Pen,
think-
it's probably going to get a little bit hitchy over there.
Does Armor of Agathis protect me from that?
Make your DC Constitution save, dude.
Oh boy.
Can you do it with advantage, considering most of them would just die of cold?
No, actually, it's on one creature that I choose that I can.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
okay. Never mind that.
God.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
killed me.
I almost didn't check just for comic effect, but yeah, it is it is one person. So.
yeah, he can't save from that, so he's just like.
But yeah, 6 more points, and he can't move, so the movement doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. So 6 more points of damage. He's still laying on the ground, and this creature's beat to shit. So there's not a whole lot left of it, but it is its turn, and it's gonna have a go at Pen. How's that biting? Oh, those are both double-digit numbers. Okay, so first is the bite, and the bite comes in at a whole 19.
Who that hits?
Bane can't help you from that.
Yeah, Bane can't save you from that one. But you do only take
This does.
6 piercing damage from the bite.
All right, Armor of Agathis keeps that out for the most part.
And I need you to make a Constitution save.
All right.
And it needs to be better than 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And then the claws cut in you. And the
Alright.
claws come at you with a 19.
Yeah, I know that hits too. Weirdly
Okay.
enough.
That's strangely, I don't have an AC of 19. And that is 9 damage coming your way.
So
To make another Constitution save.
My
I
AC
love-
goes up by 2 every time I get hit. No, that's not a thing.
No.
I love this too because like he does this and Armor of Agathis just shatters and falls off and I'm like, huh, well, it didn't get me, but did
dear.
this? Oh, this did though. Whatever that was.
All right. You are paralyzed.
Oh, cool. Out of fear because I'm like, I don't have armor on anymore.
I'm sitting on a werewolf with no armor. Oh no.
It's the alligator all over again.
It's just like I've made a huge mistake. Okay, next up is who's after that? Key 3, save Pen.
All right. Pen! Move! What are you doing? And I'm going to stab at it again.
I can't move, can I?
Very carefully around Pen.
So after the armor of Agathis fades, the creature gets ready to launch another attack, only to find Key 3's blade lunge through its head as it gets up to Pen's face, and the creature goes limp.
Out of character. There go my dreams of becoming a werewolf. And Pen may slowly become a werewolf.
So I'm not gonna bite you.
Oh,
And
And in character. Good.
we are out of combat.
I'm going to try and shake Pen. Be like, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
How does paralysis
You
work?
doing
Am I just like, oh god.
You can make another save to get out of it, or you gotta be like healed out of it.
Okay, what's my save? Constitution.
Constitution. Yeah, no,
Oh,
you are still you're more paralyzed than
Just
you were
got-
before.
I'm
yeah.
stammering. I'm just like,
Did-
Hey, look, we got the statue for the courtyard at the keep. Hey, that's pretty cool, eh?
turn to
Wait a minute. I go over and see if I can pick up the hat. Because he's not turned to stone, right? He's just paralyzed.
He's just paralyzed.
I want to lift up the hat and see if Handy's paralyzed too.
Andy's fine.
Pull the hat back down really tight.
Bob, is this the type of like reaction somebody would get if they were turning into a werewolf?
No, this is different.
Well, that's
My claws don't paralyze anybody, at least not recently.
at least good.
Richard's gonna make
I'm gonna slap Pen's
I'm
face.
Make another Constitution save there.
So do we need to bring the body back to town, or can we leave them out here for nature to take its course, eh?
We should probably burn them.
That's
That's
probably a good idea, eh?
I'm just gonna say we should do what? And I have a torch already by the body.
Okay, not in the forest.
Maybe we
please.
don't light the whole forest on fire, eh? We go back to
Please,
town,
this is
we
my
make a ceremony out of it, eh?
These were citizens of my village at some point, so we should probably do something. We buried them in a hole, and this is what happened.
Is one of them entombed in a tree, though?
I'll get my axe. Fuck. He goes off into this town, gets an axe, cuts down the tree that the other dude is trapped in.
I'd like to.
You know, I do have woodcarver's tools. I can do that.
I'd really like to think he has a moment of clarity and he just kind of knows, and he's just, as he's walking back, he's just like, you damn Fern Gully references. Oh, so did I snap out with a 13?
Yeah, you're good. You're no longer paralyzed.
I just slapped and I'm just like, oh God. And I was like, I look up and there's a little bit of madness in my eyes and I'm just like, aren't undead cool?
No.
You got enough pets already. You don't need any more, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a hard no too. These weren't just zombies.
Dude. Canon with that. The shtick is old.
Let's get them back to town, and show them some respect, They are still a citizen of this town,
Absolutely.
All fun aside,
Look, I don't know who this guy is that you guys are having trouble with, but these were more than zombies. These were ghouls and ghasts.
Yeah, this guy, he bring back the undead and he don't do nothing halfway,
This was like a wereghast, which is a concept so terrifying that I'm in horror.
I am taking notes.
So you got to make sure you set this village up defensively, Because if you don't, you release a whole town full of those, and I point at the bodies, on the world under the control of a completely insane and crazy man.
That's not something
just a man.
I want to do. So I'm going to have extra security. I'm going to have a lot of people keep an eye out. Now we know what to watch for. That's what we're going to watch for.
And if it's too much and the shit get too real, you come to the keep,
We'll let you know if we need assistance. But thanks for your help here with this. And
you grab the feet, and I'll grab the shoulder, like under the arms of one of them.
Sure.
I'm gonna carry one all my own.
All right. And you guys carry them back to the town. They set up a pyre.
I help set that up.
It's near morning time by the time it's going down.
More drinks.
More drinks.
I'm gonna hang out over here.
Over by the stone.
Yeah.
All right. So the townspeople gather and they have a modest ceremony. And Bradley lets everybody know. Says we owe a debt of thanks to these representatives from Avalon Knights who have come over to assist us with this issue.
And the
when
Warlock
time comes, and the Warlock of Greenwood, who we all know as a folk hero.
Says so right on his sheet, right on his CV, right in the top right-hand corner.
It's very annoying to have that put down and never get to
Well, you guys don't go to a lot of towns, to be fair.
Yeah.
All right, so the ceremony goes down. He says, we need a debt from everybody. He says, because of this, in a few days' time, I will be looking for able-bodied warriors to assist me in the defense of Avalon Keep in the future. And a couple people step forward. One of them is Maria, actually. She says that she wants to assist, and everyone is in agreement.
Yeah.
And as the ceremony is drawing to a close, and the pyres with the bodies on them die down, there is a thump as a large, grotesque creature lands on the rooftop of the lumber mill.
I'm close to that, aren't I?
Yeah, and there's like somebody slapping wet meat together.
Right here?
Yeah.
I was wondering when you were gonna show up.
Who are we looking at?
Great job, Warlocks. Let's have a little meet and greet. And we'll get to that right after the break.
Richard is already charging 2 Eldritch Blasts.
He's got them prepped and ready.
Luckily, when he fireballs you, we're out of range. So.
Oh, wait, no! I have something even better.
Oh no.
Oh
Something
no.
from the first episode that I was ever on.
Oh yes. I remember that. By the way,
Yeah, but I
I
remember this.
think Penright will join me in this PSA here. The undead are kind of getting a bad rap in this show as of late, and I just like to say we're not all that. Don't prejudge, all right? Some of us have changed our ways, sort of turned things around. There's hope for everyone. We'll see you after the break.
Hi folks, today I'm going to be talking to you about Session 0. So what is a Session 0? It's the session prior to the actual campaign. It's a good session to get everybody together to talk about what the campaign is going to be, to create your characters, to set up kind of house rules and table rules, all of those things. So I'm going to be telling you today a few things that you may want to incorporate into your Session 0. Now I will say you probably don't need to have Session 0 for a one-shot. But a long-running campaign, especially in a group that you want to be playing with on a regular basis, and especially for homebrews, it's good to have a Session 0 so that everybody is on board and on the same page with what game they're going to play, and also kind of has a good idea of what are the expectations for the table. As a GM, it's good to give your players the tone and themes that you would like the campaign to cover. A good way of thinking about it is pitching your players the campaign. So giving like a tease of the story. Think about like on the back of a book, the summary where you're not going to give away major plot points or stuff like that, but players are going to know, okay, this is going to be a hack and slash, or okay, this is going to be a political intrigue. This makes sure that everybody's on board with the game that they're playing, and you don't have somebody who's like, I just wanted to run around and attack goblins and defeat dragons, and you end up in this like political intrigue, or vice versa. This is also a good chance for players to then bring up if there are any things that they don't want to see in game. So you can use some tools like lines and veils or X card, and I go into those in other videos, or just an opportunity for people to say like, hey, I don't like when kids get hurt in story. And that's something that the GM can then take that and make any changes based on the player's feedback, or if something that a player has brought up that they're not comfortable having this in game is very central to the story you were planning on having, maybe that's an opportunity to step back and say, maybe this isn't the game for that particular player. So this gets everybody on the same page of what themes and tone and all of that, the players and the GM, everybody is on board. All of the players are on board with each other. This is also a great chance to talk about playstyle. You know, you can have different playstyles at the same table, but if there is a particular playstyle that is jarring or you don't like, you can bring that up and try and figure out how to make it work for the table, or decide, okay, maybe a couple people, this isn't the game for them. That's kind of a running theme. It gives people a good chance to back out gracefully from something before getting like, okay, we're 3 sessions in and now I realize this is not the game I wanted to play, but I don't want to let everybody else down. You can step out before it ever becomes an issue. With playstyle, you know, are you going to be using miniatures? Do you prefer doing theater of the mind? Are you going to be using voices? Are you going to be speaking in third person about your character? All those things that can get discussed. People can talk about, hey, this is how I prefer to play. And if anybody has any issues or finds that there's something that's just not going to mesh, you can come up with a plan for how to deal with it. This is also a great opportunity to talk about rules. Both, what rule system are you going to be like? Okay, first of all, what system are you using for the game? And then also, if there are alternative rules within those systems, you can discuss that and come up with which one are we going to use so that everybody's on the same page from the start. And then also, if you have any house rules that you prefer to use, this is a great opportunity to discuss those and come up with a plan. And this just kind of makes it smoother down the road so that when you do run into those times where it's like there's a house rule or an alternative rule, the players and GM, everybody's going to be on the same page. Also, it's good to come up with table rules. And maybe rules might be a little strict for this thing, but kind of what is the expected etiquette at the table? Like, is food and drink okay? How do we handle cell phones at the table? Stuff like that. Also, with this, I would include figuring out the schedule. So sitting down and saying, hey, are we going to be gaming on a consistent schedule so that everybody can know ahead of time? Or is it going to be trying to fit people in? And then I'd also come up with kind of a game plan for if somebody has to miss a session. It's going to happen at some point. So it's good if you already know ahead of time, like, hey, if this person has to miss this session, we'll find an excuse for why their character isn't there. Or if it's, okay, this person isn't here, but so-and-so is going to play their character for them. Session 0 is also a great opportunity to roll up the characters. Even if it's not everybody sits down and creates, fills out all the character sheets and does all of the roles, but at least discussing the kind of character you want to play. So for like Dungeons and Dragons, what race and class do you want to be? Or what is the character's backstory? I really like figuring out backstories because that also gives you an opportunity to maybe find ways that your characters already know of each other. For the GM, that's super helpful. Also, that's just fun character things to go in, even if they aren't like best buds, but like, oh yeah, we grew up in the same village, or I ran into this person at one point. You're familiar with the other person, even if you aren't like siblings or best friends. Similar, this is a great opportunity to cover character knowledge. So for the GM to let the players know, here are the things your characters know about this world. This is especially good like in fantasy settings. How common is magic? Or what are some of the major political powers? What are some major events that had happened? Stuff like that, so that you can start incorporating that. This is also good to have in more modern settings to help differentiate, like, hey, these are the things that you as a player know versus your characters know. Like Tales from the Loop. I've got some knowledge about 80s type stuff that my character might not, because it's brand new in the 80s. And even if that's not something that you get all of that info right at once, especially if you're first coming up with your character ideas in that session, the GM might not have everything right away, but it gives the GM an opportunity to give you that information before you actually sit down to play a real session. Another great thing about having Session 0 is it's a great opportunity for everybody to meet each other and just see if personalities mesh or if there are any clashes, especially if you're playing with people that you don't really know very well, or there are people in the group that are like, I'm friends with both of these people, I think they will get along, but let's see if they actually get along before we commit to like a 2-year campaign. Alright, so those are some of the things you may want to cover in a session 0. Is there anything that I missed that you would suggest including in your session 0? Let's talk about it more down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I want to give a special thanks to all of our patrons, especially Sean, Joan, Arby, Lainey, and Bryce. If you're interested in becoming one of our patrons, getting some cool perks, and helping us along the way, you can head over to patreon.com/rollforinitiative. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can keep up with our daily activities over at R4I Vlog on Twitter and Instagram. And we'll see you next time on Roll for Initiative. Bye! How many times can I say same page in this video? Let's find out.
Hello, my name's Kevin, this is Dirty 20 Gaming, and this is part 3 in a series of videos on how to make interesting characters. This one is about story arc and character development. I'm always a little surprised to see how many people don't do this part for their characters. To me, it's integral. All that a story arc is the story that you want to explore with your character that runs in parallel with the story the DM is telling. So why plan one at all? I get it. It's probably more realistic to not plan one. I find that they prevent aimlessness. Going with the flow is certainly more realistic, but we aren't really replicating reality when we roleplay. We're telling stories, and well-built characters on solid story arcs really help to move that story along. Another thing is it gives you another filter to use when you're helping, that'll help you to decide how your character reacts in any given situation. Every one of those that you can get is a good thing, as far as I'm concerned. In some cases, like a coming-of-age story, if that's the story you're going to tell with this character, this is meta-knowledge. This is information the character doesn't know. They don't know they're on a coming-of-age story arc. So some people would argue that this is meta-knowledge and it's bad and you shouldn't do it. I would respond by saying you are the co-author of a story as well as a person playing a character. As such, if it makes the story better, use it. It's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree in the comments below. It's usually pretty simple to justify these things in-game. It's not difficult in most cases. One thing I do that helps me a lot is I actually visualize story arcs as arcs. So, like this one. This is probably the most common one. This is the revenge story arc. I watched them kill my parents in front of me, and I will hunt down the one-armed, one-legged, one-eyed man until it's the last thing I do. I'll kill him. It's shaped like it is because at the start of the game, your character is in no way, shape, or form powerful enough to face off against this evil bugger who did this to their family. They have to satisfy themselves with gathering information, taking out their minions and their underlings, gathering more information, and eventually building up their own power until the point where they can go and face this creature or beast or bastard magic user with tattoos on his skull, usually. It's also the story arc for overcoming anything. Overcoming insurmountable odds is the same story arc, and that's that shape for the same reason. Also, success in spite of a weakness, the same arc. Now, if you add a vertical line at the start of this graph, you end up with the fall and rise story arc, which is your character has done something absolutely horrible and is now going to try and recover from that in some way. This next one is I call it the coming of age story arc. It also works for anybody who's resisting the urge to take responsibilities that are by right theirs, or anybody who's trying to earn something. It's jagged like that because of successes and failures along the way. So the coming of age story, perhaps they act like an adult, then they act like a child, then they act like an adult, and off they go until eventually they learn to grow up, take responsibility for what they're supposed to do, and usually in that case end up saving the world. Those are probably the two most common ones. This is by no means an exhaustive list, so please, again, add yours below. Talk about a couple special cases here. This one is making amends. There is a sharp vertical line that goes down at the start of this one, but sometimes it's before the game starts, sometimes it's shortly after the game begins. We talked about the fall and rise with that first curve. This is an extreme version of that. This is either just before the game starts or just after it starts. Your character has done something horrible. Absolutely horrible. And they now devote all of their energies, all of their time, every second of every day to trying to make amends for what they've done. That's why it's shaped like that. It never ends. It's unstopping. It is an endless urge to make up for something which you may discover is something that can't be made up for. And the last one that I'm going to talk about, the last of the regular ones I'm going to talk about today. This is the not a commonly played one. This is finding a new way or finding a new cause. So this is your character moving along the regular story arc, and then suddenly, for some reason, they have a falling out with their god. Their patron turns their back on them. They decide they cannot, in good faith, be a druid anymore. They give all of that up or have it all taken away and have to find a new way to succeed. This can be a really challenging arc to follow if you have all those abilities and skills taken away at too high a level. So if you do this, do it at a lower level, lose everything you've got when you're at second or third level so that you're only a little bit behind, and with working with the DM, you can make up that gap by doing exceptional things. This can be as simple as multi-classing or as complex as completely giving up one class and trying to learn another one. Again, work with your DM on this. They need to be in on this kind of curve. There is one special case. This is the one that every single character in a game like D&D 5e goes through. This is the level up story arc. It's behind all the other ones, and it is your class features, your subclass features, your patron boons, your spells, your invocations, your meta magic. As you gain each of those as you move along, it makes you slightly and slightly more powerful. So that arc everyone goes through, even if they haven't specifically got one of the other ones in mind. One or more things to remember here. It is absolutely essential that your story must fit in with the Dungeon Master's world. It's their game, so work with them. Don't script the game by any means, but do ask your DM to put you in situations that will test your faith, or give you opportunities to make bad decisions, or that force you to justify your behavior to your patron or your god, as examples. Let the DM know that you want your character to snap and ask for their help. Above all else, explain your story arc to them so that they know what you're trying to do and they can help you along the way. This can add a real depth to your character, in my opinion. It gives you direction. It gives you something to focus on. It pretty much defines your short, medium, and long-term goals. So having said all of that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, game creatively.
Well, time to find out who's slapping the meat on the rooftop.
Thank you for that.
Hey, you
Oh,
don't sound like meat
You
slap.
never let me down. You never let me When last... I need a minute. Okay.
I mean, can't you get over the fact that someone's slapping their meat on the rooftop?
No, look,
He just needs a minute to get down off the roof.
excitedly. Okay. Now then, when last we left our heroes, they had conquered what I am calling the weregasts and restored peace to the small village of Traverse, only to find some grotesque-looking creature sitting on the rooftop of the lumber mill, clapping its meaty paws together. And as the sunlight illuminates this creature, you can see that it is stitched together in parts. There are pieces of flesh hanging off of it. It looks very familiar to this team as one of the flying trolls from the Splice Laboratories.
Yep.
That's all messed up and like parts of it are broken off and decayed.
It's the doctor again, isn't it, somehow? God damn it.
And it says, well, you did it. You saved the town. Congratulations. Real proud of everybody. I really can't thank you enough for this incredible laboratory that you guys left in ruins. It was really quite a treat for me. All kinds of things in here. And I've just been reanimating my ass off to come up with all these new treats for you. But I'm glad you guys stopped my little experiment here. I mean, zombie werewolves, it's a little cliche.
Overkill.
Yeah, right? This guy gets it.
Yeah, I do. I'm reaching into my bag for a scroll.
So I was thinking to myself, how do I repay the Warlocks for giving me all of these treats? And it occurred to me, well, if you guys care about these little towns, these people in them, let's have a wager. Or we'll say a gentleman's agreement. I have done similar things in all of the surrounding area. Put myself to work in various manners, various ways to kind of prep these people for what will be, I imagine, a new world order is the best way to describe it. If you thwart it, I will make no further attempts on those towns. They will be yours. How's that sound for a treat?
Do I think that he's telling the truth?
You're hearing his voice projected through this creature. So you can attempt to insight on the mannerisms of it.
Okay.
I think that does it.
You feel like he is genuinely amused by this. You don't feel like this is necessarily a lie.
I'm going to use Awakened Mind to talk to the group and say, well, it doesn't seem like it could hurt taking him up on it because we're going to want to stop whatever he's doing anyhow.
No way, we can make him keep his deal anyway. We might as well agree just to shut him up.
I'd like to check on a stipulation first, if possible, though. And I'm going to look up and say, would this agreement withstand even after our inevitable altercation? Say we didn't make it out. Who knows? You've got a lot going for you. We're just us. If we didn't, would you still leave them be? Would you honor that?
Oh, We have a pragmatist. I'm touched. So even after I extinguish your lives and bring your organization to ruin, you're still concerned for these little towns. That's remarkable.
And while he's saying that, I'm going to reach out with my awakened mind in the direction of the beast and just attempt to touch it and see if, be like, and I'm just going to say through awakened mind, can you hear me through this method?
What are you're reaching out to this creature?
Well, I'm reaching out with awakened mind, essentially to see if he's connected through that, if I can still just like do that through awakened mind, or if this is completely vocal.
Yeah, you're not able to. You don't get any response through the awakened mind line.
Fair enough.
He says, "Well, my little mind boy, you would be not out of place in the old order. That's just the kind of thing Corvan and Cookie loved."
Mm.
And the truth is, we can't hold you to account, even if you do, even if we do win. It don't matter. If you're going to take these towns, you're going to take them. These are words flapping in the wind. Unless you mean something, maybe you move on to your next point, eh?
Fair enough. So I'm glad he understands that you have to play my reindeer games. So do your best, Warlocks. I'll be rooting for you. And I'll let you know next time you succeed. Till then, make sure you check all the towns. Okay? Be thorough. And we'll talk again real soon. And the creature kind of lurches forward and flies off.
I'm just going to shout after it, "I have your diary!" At least he knows.
Why would you tell him that?
Because then he'll come back eventually, before this is all said and done.
He's
Okay.
already coming.
Yeah.
In line 2.
You're wriggling bait in the wind to a fish that's already on the line.
I want him on my line.
Yeah, I'm lining up 2 shots at Pen. Pen. You moron.
This is not your bartering chip.
No, it was ours.
You guys keep thinking you can trust this guy. Come on. You know better. He's evil in the extreme.
Please, no matter what plan we make, it's gonna fail.
The one day he's definitely not going to show up is the day he said he's going to show up, unless it's a triple bluff. You get it?
Dramatic, though. Can't you? You of all people, I feel like would understand this. This man is all about the show, and honestly, the one thing none of us would think the big bad evil man would do is honor his agreements, and there's something full of flair about that, and I think that's what he's going for. And I think, honestly, we can use that, but we have to kind of bank on it because we can't do anything else. I would say, yes, be prepared early. Ideally, I say be prepared as soon as possible, at the minimum 5 days earlier than we need to be.
Or take his deal, but know that he's not going to uphold it. And so, hey, yeah, he's not going to attempt to hurt the towns again, but we'll just keep open communication to be like, oh, something weird's going on in the town. Guess what?
We do what we were going to do anyway, which is tell everybody and get rid of all the beer and hopefully find if there's any other trick he's using. It sounds like he's maybe got more than one, eh?
Yeah.
But I don't trust him. He don't want these villages. They're grist for his mill. Why he don't want them? If he don't want them, why is he poisoning them, eh?
My Fey form is beginning to bubble under the surface, and I mean quite literally. You see some bubbles in the skin. It's like pop, and some wood grows through.
Bradley says, "Wow, that guy is an asshole."
More than you know, eh?
We need to go.
Maybe we should check in on Swift Current. as well. It maybe can be at the last on our list, but
Hopefully, Team Growl has not been arrested trying to do a good thing in our name, eh?
Hopefully
Maybe we
not.
should go there first.
Either way, we got to go to all these towns, eh? This one, I think, out of all of them, is probably so far is the most capable of defending itself, or at least they hold out for as long as they can, and then they come to us, eh?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll be all right now that we know what to look out for. But I appreciate your help here, and when the time comes, we'll be ready to assist.
That is all we could possibly ask for, eh?
Because, hey, we all live here too. Neighbors got to look out for each other, right?
Okay, so how about 3 or 4 for the road? We got to get going, eh?
Sure thing. I'll give you a bottle.
I still got my wineskin full of whiskey, too. I have not had any of that.
I'm going to pack up the cart in just a few seconds. I'm just going to put my hand against the Fey statue, the Fey carving. A fickle Fey of fortune and bravery and just being a plain dumbass. Please keep them safe.
And you hear a wolf howl in the distance.
And now that there's a moment of calm, sort of as we're sort of heading down the street to the bar again, I'm assuming, I want to look at Keithry and say, you had to go for really quick, eh? I don't mean to be rude, but is everything okay?
Yeah, just family decided to visit. Maybe not the best time, so told them not to come. Don't worry, they can stay home and not. You no reason for you folks to meet them.
Cool.
That's kind of exactly what I thought you were going to say, but I figured I better check. Eh?
Are they?
All right, my little mystery. We get to that later, eh?
Are we?
You are all right, though?
Yeah.
Are they taking William with them?
You did have some time to talk with them about that agreement, and they said that should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, William can go stay with them when he needs to.
Okay, that's a load off my mind.
They're used to having odd visitors, so.
Okay.
Well, one more thing before we go, Bradley. Eh? If any of the people in this town start having bad dreams about the guy with the smoky head, get the hell out, eh?
All right. Thanks for the advice.
And we will be able to count on you in, somebody remind me, 25 days? I want to say 1 day early.
It's 24 now.
Yeah.
Okay, then, and 20.
Plus he's sending some now, right? Some of them are going right now. The rest of them are going to come if they feel threatened, right?
No, we'll come to you on the day.
Oh, okay.
We're going to send some able warriors your way on the day. But do you guys have any need for lumber?
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
We are rebuilding.
we should try to work out a trade agreement.
Well, yeah, we need barricades at the very least, and then after that, we'll need lumber anyway, just to build ourselves back up. But
Well, tell you what, I'll send a cart full on me,
thank you.
just as a start. And we'll work out a supply line for later.
Yeah, Guy's nodding, but he's thinking the keep is surrounded by a giant forest. Probably easier to just make the lumber there, but so he keeps that to himself. But there's kind of that look on his face, like, thank you, yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't want to get rid of our natural lumber.
We need those forests.
Guy, they're the closest to us. I know what you're thinking.
Well, this is the furthest one away from us. This is the one that's closest to
I
the.
thought this was the closest to us.
This
No,
was
we went to the one that was closest to the bad guys first.
Yeah.
Star Mountain.
Right, never mind.
This one's on the edge of Star Mountain. There's actually not that much forest around you guys.
Yeah.
You're like on the river.
So what time of day is it again? You said morning. Has dawn passed?
Dawn has
Certainly
passed.
Not. I mean, then we wouldn't have Key3 anymore.
Haha!
Haha.
The dawn has passed, and it's getting later in the day now because we had a whole funeral.
Nice. We're back to full on Healy-hoo.
So where's the team headed next? You say your goodbyes, and the cart is loaded up, and Lady Bella is waiting there for you all. / Veronica.
I
Nice.
think we go to Swift Current. It's the next closest one, eh?
That's the one we sent Team Growl to, right?
Yeah, and I anticipate trouble.
Yeah, plus they're walking, and we got this nice carriage. We probably get there before them anyway. Sorry, Key3, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say if they beat us there, then we could just, if it was just the beer, hey, great, awesome, let the townsfolk know and then head on
Good work,
out.
team.
But
Yep. Yeah, I
Good
like
work.
that plan, eh? For sure.
That sounds like a good place to head.
All right. So the cart is loaded up. Everybody says their goodbyes. And you head out to Swift Currents.
Every time you say that, I laugh because I lived in a tiny little town 90 miles outside of Swift Current, Saskatchewan. So every single time.
It's gonna be just right. Okay, so Swift Currents.
Say 90 miles or 90 kilometers?
This was a long time ago. It was miles.
How long is this journey, by the by?
Not long. It's just a few hours. It's about evening by the time you arrive. Is there anything you'd like to do in transit?
Short rest.
Yeah, can we take turns resting? That'd be awfully nice.
You
Just
could
for the start.
certainly do so.
Okay. And also, whenever everyone's around, I need to have a small conversation of mild importance.
All right.
I look. I don't know who's driving. Is it me? Is it Richard? Is it Richard?
Who wants to drive? Richard drive a car? Okay.
All right.
I always drive.
All right.
So
Cart sound effects.
I'm looking at the other two, and I'm also making sure Richard could hear me. And I was like, I know this phrase has to be getting about as old as Richard's. I know you're not going to like this, but I need to understand, do the three of you trust me on a fundamental level? Like, we have been traveling together, and I can say I trust Guy 90%. I trust Key3 almost 100%. And my trust in Richard fluctuates day by day. But it's still on to above 50 for the most part. I just feel like he's going to get himself killed.
I'm definitely going to get myself killed. That's how my obituary reads. I wrote it already. Want to see?
It's like hands you a rough-hewn piece of wood. Richard died of his own mistakes.
Right. And
Richard,
I'm like,
perhaps that's not the best life outlook, because, you getting yourself killed not only hurts you, but also hurts all of us, because I don't want you to die, and also we're one less on the team.
yeah.
Let's just say I know a guy that I've been rough contacts.
You-
And that guy knows a guy who pretty much knows the guy that is much better at this than I likely will be.
I thought you hated the Drow Nation.
Not them.
What? I don't even know if I can follow that.
Yeah.
Well, don't die. But
I
if you
guarantee-
do, leave me the arm and the glasses and the will.
Nope.
Well, then don't fucking die.
Those are your options.
Look, the arm goes to My Majesty. And the glasses, well, the glasses are... I'm probably going to trust them to Key3.
Oh, well. I hate everyone. Anyway, the other...
I
regard-
enjoy you, but my trust of you is kind of
Well, that comes back to the beginning of this conversation.
That's why I mention it.
This is important because I know we cannot trust Blackwind, but I still wish to communicate with him as often and as openly as possible because I believe there's always a chance that there's more to it than we know, and there's more that we can glean from it rather than just running him out every time or disregarding everything he says, because we don't know. He used to be connected to the keep. We don't even know the full story. We just rolled up in here. We only know bits and pieces we've heard from the people we know and trust, and we only trust them because they've done right by us. And I'm not saying...
Cookie.
My grandfather Aaron always used to say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
There's that. I know we killed Cookie Gee. I don't want to sidle up next to someone who would take the life of someone, but we also have to ask ourselves.
Killed Corwin too, eh? A paladin of light. He killed him in cold blood after he called him his friend.
But why? We don't know why.
I don't think we care.
Power. It's obvious why. He tried to get each one of us to kill somebody that had something to do with this original fight. He's not over it yet. It's about power. It's about control, eh?
But do we know that's him? You know, I'm just saying we don't know all the facts. And if we can get more facts, we might find out something we didn't know. And that might be important.
So are you saying we can learn something we can use against him?
Potentially. We can learn something we can use against him, whether it be in the sense of either misdirecting him, whether it be understanding that fundamentally there is something we don't know about his relationship with the keep that we can adjust that might either cause him to shift motives, not completely, I wouldn't ever venture to guess, but something that might shift his focus, buy us more time, or even, I don't know. All I know is it is in my nature to understand as much of a situation as possible. And so I would like to take every opportunity I can to speak with him. I do not expect any of you to feel the same way, and I don't expect you to necessarily stand by me when it happens. All I ask is that you do not prevent it. That's all I ask. And I tell you this with in mind that you understand that I will not betray you, which I know is a heavy thing to say, even to bring up, but I'm just saying, like, you have to understand everything I ask and do, none of it will be in a way to sabotage us or to do any negative effect. It's only to figure out more for us.
I wonder if Blackwind gave exactly the same speech 10 minutes before he stabbed Cor in the back, eh?
Pen, I trust that you're doing what's best.
I trust you think you're doing what's best.
Oh man, that was very evenly distributed. that was very much no, yes, kinda. And I guess that's the best I could hope for. But you of all people, Guy, I've been with you since day one, and you know, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Everybody gets a second chance, eh? This guy's had 10, 12 chances, eh? How many people you give 14 second chances to, eh?
At that point, it becomes 14 chances. Or if you do the math, it's about 28.
Pedantics aside, how many times you get a second chance, eh? Before you just go, you know what? They don't want it.
I don't think Penn's saying to give him another chance. I think he's saying let us use his weakness against him. He likes to talk.
You're both
If
right.
this-
And I like to stab people.
Can I do a quick mild arcana check?
Sure. What do you want an Arcana check on?
I want to know if I would know anything about like how magic, because I know there is magic that can corrupt, but I don't know in detail and how it works in this world. So I want to do an Arcana check on anything that would like corrupt someone and change them as an individual. And let's see.
Oh. So, your thoughts on that, as you ponder it, magic itself is a tool. By and large, it doesn't necessarily corrupt. However, some magic comes from corrupted sources. There are demons and archdemons that can bestow kind of magical contracts, not unlike the ones that you guys have.
Not to mention the Fae. Dear God, the Fae.
And the Fae. And when you're talking about absorbing the essence of creatures, it occurs to you that perhaps that is a two-way street.
Oh yeah, we know the eye works, right? The eye can be used to suction essences, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Is the implication that the more you take, the more you lose of yourself? Or is the implication that the more you take, the murkier it gets and there's no clear...
It is unclear as to whether, say you absorb an evil creature, if that creature then becomes a part of you in totality, or if that creature's personality is absorbed within your own.
And I kind of pull Handy out of my hat and just look at him in my hand as I'm thinking this over. And I just turn to them, and it's a very solemn look because I always thought that I would put this on. And I'm not saying that I still won't, but now there's a bit more weight to it as I really think about this and that what I know. And I turn to them and I'm like, in a roundabout way, I relay that I'm just like, we don't know what is in that individual, and we don't know how far it took something that started as, and I flip open my book with the other hand to the start of his diary, something that started as a quest to prevent oneself from being weak, to prevent oneself from being run over and destroyed along with his friends. We don't know how far it went until perhaps maybe he lost track of who he really was. And that doesn't excuse it. And at the end of the day, and I close my book, if we have to, we will take care of it by any means possible. But I don't want to completely lose sight of the chance that this might not even be the same person that they knew and that we think we know. And so I just think there's always a third option.
You are talking in circles. What's your plan?
Oh, I don't know if there is a plan. Long story short, I want to keep lines of communication open. I want to discuss with him, learn as much as we can. And I don't know, would an exorcism work on him? And I look at Guy and Key 3. I know Guy might know because he knows more about ritual spells. Like, would an exorcism remove... Because we still have it, and I flip my book open to the page where I have it scrawled in there from well, I didn't write it, but it's a loose leaf page in there from the kit we got. Would an exorcism remove the creatures that were absorbed, or would that... I mean, he'd still be a lich, but he wouldn't be the same.
We don't know. Eh? We don't know till we try.
And there's something the Fae do that is similar in ways to possession, where we charm and terrify, so it's a difficult line. The thing is, there's a difference between something taking you
something unwanted being trapped in you and trapping you in you and trapping other things into you willingly.
You're not wrong.
So the cart begins to arrive in Swift Currents now. And Swift Currents sits at a fork in a river. So the Desserin River moves up to where the keep is situated and then branches off into the main Desserin River. And then there's a smaller river that kind of runs out near the hills. And this is placed at a fork near there. If you look at the map, it's the yellow dot by Wumford. It's a small farming community. Only about 5 or 6 houses, not overly large. And as the cart arrives late into the evening, there are a bunch of people gathered outside the inn/tavern looking at a bunch of smashed kegs.
Look around and see if we can see Team Growl. Preferably not in chains.
Let's see if you see Team Growl.
Oh no, not his dice. They've been so bad.
The dice are so bad today. You do not. Team Growl is not present.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't know that it's us that did this. Hey, everyone!
It's me, the folk hero.
Yeah, don't mind my 3 weird friends.
All right.
Put this hood back up, because I am not something to look at.
So you guys arrive in town, and people aren't really paying attention to you. Everybody's looking at these smashed cakes, trying to figure out what's went down. And what do you want to do? How do you want to take a look at things?
I look at the
You
others.
guys get off the cart. I'll find somewhere to park it.
Okay.
Beep, beep.
I hop off and turning to the other two, I'm like, honestly, I think we should just look to see how this played out. Maybe even act aloof at first. I don't know, not aloof. That's not the right word.
Surprised.
We just like, oh, yeah, you know, but you know, maybe see. Is that note? Is the note there?
The note just like crumpled up and soaked in ale, and it's almost imperceptible from what you had originally written on it because of the condition that it's in.
Is someone like looking at it?
Yeah, he's like, what? Why would they do this?
Oh,
Is this vandalism? Is somebody trying to send us a message? Is this a threat? Like, what is happening?
I'm
There's
gonna.
that.
I'll-
Drink some whiskey.
I'll walk up and be like, "Oh, we just came from Travers, and they smashed all of their barrels because there was a poison that had gotten in the beer. So somebody probably came along and didn't want you all to be poisoned."
And as she says it, I go looking for the bungs on the beer. I want to pull out plugs on these broken things, looking for ones with black stuff on the end.
Okay. You don't find any with black stuff on the end.
But they were all in kegs, so we know that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't any there. So
Yeah. The lumberjacks sent somebody to break our kegs because they got poisoned? All right. I guess we'll have to order some more. Who's going to pay for this?
can we look at the labels on the casks? Is it from the same places?
Absolutely. They're from a number of different places. Some are from Golden Fields, some are from breweries in the Waterdeep area.
I'm gonna turn to the other two. And has Richard made it back to us yet, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long to park the cart.
And is this like a small, not to say bumpkin town, but like, is it a small town?
It is a small town. There's like at most 6 buildings here.
Oh, okay.
There's like 6 buildings here, and then there are 4 plots of land filled with crops with farmhouses.
I bet he put it in the crops. Anyway, I'm gonna turn as Richard walks up, and I was like, yes, so it's like the folk hero. I was like, so listen, I think we should be straightforward with these people at this point, because last time we beat around the bush and it took a day and they were already undead. So
yeah. Better to frighten now than frighten later.
yeah. So I'm just like, I'm leaving it to you because you know how to talk to these people.
Richard, also those glasses, maybe that can help us figure out.
He's already wearing the mask with the glasses on.
All right.
How do you know about them?
I did mention them.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I mean, I
Okay,
didn't
so
say what they did, but
no. But
I'm gonna
Richard,
look-
your glasses, when you look at these smashed barrels, it's just standard, alcohol content, ale, subpar, cheap,
And the townsfolk?
estimated value 25 gold pieces. The townsfolk, human, half elf, dwarf.
that's a diverse town of 6 people.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your guess's attention? I'm the Warlock of Greenwood, and I come bearing a message. You are all in deep shit.
Pens already.
Murmurs from the crowd.
I will let my associates take it away from here because I hate this.
Well, that's ominous.
So there is this fellow that is trying to create disorder and is after the individuals at the keep and might be trying to turn you all against the keep in various methods. So we're just here checking in to see if anything odd has been going on, any strangers in town, anyone from the town acting strangely, or, weird things that have shown up.
Do you think it might affect the crops? Somebody from the back of the crowd.
I'm just.
Well, we certainly can investigate that.
I mean, yeah, what she said.
Told you it was the crops, Eileen.
Yeah, they better check on the crops. We should get the crops checked out.
Yeah,
And finally, a guy emerges from the top of the group, or to the front of the group. He's like, I'm Todd McMurphy. I run the Agri Center here.
Agros.
it's like agriculture.
I know what it is. I'm just. It seems awfully put together for such a small town.
Look, if you've been to small town Saskatchewan, this all makes perfect sense. All right.
That's the nice thing with 13 people is you can all have a title.
Yeah, right.
Fun fact, I learned this.
Okay, we can't go into this. Okay.
1,005 and 25,000 people. These are all villages.
So, what exactly are we looking for here?
You leave that to me. Richard just kind of adjusts his mask and walks over to the crops.
All right. So it's still dark out.
Still light or still dark?
It's still dark out because you guys arrived late in the evening.
Yeah.
And as you approach the crops, you can see that there is a scarecrow in each of the fields.
These scarecrows are all going to turn out to be evil.
I just elbow Guy a little bit. I'm like, you remember, right? Because like I
Oh, yeah.
remember.
Whack a scarecrow, eh? Get your hammer ready. And this time stay on the fucking cart, eh?
And as you approach, there's kind of a fenced off area for the fields. And as you open the fence and look up again, the scarecrows are gone.
What is your obsession with making scarecrows into things? I don't like it. Oh, look, it's in the crops. Crazy.
Okay, so I have good news, bad news. Good news, your crops seem to be mostly fine. The bad news, you have evil scarecrows.
Wait, did you look at the crops? Richard?
You can take a look at the crops.
Yeah, I did take a look at the crops.
Oh, okay.
The crops are overall good, but there's a small section that is showing signs of corruption.
Mostly good.
Burn
Not
the
all.
lands.
Burn the lands. Start again.
Okay, so you're not going to like this, but here's what I suggest. We burn down your fields, and then I help you regrow them and make them more fertile than they were before.
He can do that. He's the Warlock of Greenwood. Oh, we love the Warlock of Greenwood. Can I roll to do that again, please?
If you want to try and work the crowd in this,
Of six people.
if this bug bunny shit, look, there's about 6 houses in the town part, and then 4 houses out there, and there are families too. There might be more than one person per house.
Yeah.
So,
This isn't Animal Crossing.
So what is that again? Is it sleight of hand or is it a performance?
Give me performance.
Oh,
So you work it pretty good, and they're like, "Oh, okay. That's a little weird. But if your friend figures he can do it, I mean,
I can. I just need 32 hours.
Richard, do you need to burn down all of the crops?
Yes.
But you said mostly fine.
can't we just burn a wide
There's
berth?
a big spot. There's, I'll point them out. Just cut some down around it so it doesn't spread, and then burn those spots.
That's fair.
Still, it'll take 8 hours per plot.
How many plots are we doing this to?
4.
I don't want to be in this town for 32.
All right, that's hurtful.
I mean, I love this town and you people. And I love you, random citizen.
The scarecrows are back.
Oh, cool. Like back where they were.
Why
Like,
we burned the field?
Back where they were.
why?
Well, maybe we need to take care of the scarecrows first?
You know, I hate to agree with Richard.
Simple solution.
sticks
Burn
in
it
my
all.
throat, but he's
Burn
not
it.
wrong.
So Richard's standing next to the fields, being like, "Burn it all down."
Like he's already got a torch out. Are we doing this?
I want to look at the scarecrows with my Eldritch sight.
There appears to be nothing magical about these scarecrows.
No, that's even worse. If that means we don't understand it.
Well, they're not magic. Do you think maybe it's like an undead that they've dressed up with like scarecrow things?
I don't care.
It's
I
an
want to see
undead
part of
shish
it.
kebab, eh?
Todd McMurphy says, hang on. Don't burn down the fort. Don't burn down the crops now. Like these are fine." He walks up to it and starts like patting down the scarecrow, slaps it a bit. He's like, "See, it's just a scarecrow."
Then it bites him.
It does not bite him.
What?
No,
Why
he's-
do they
like-
move?
Even like pulls up the clothing and like pulls some straw out of it. And he's like, "Hey, it's just straw."
So how close
Why
are
did
you?
they move?
What?
Sorry.
They moved.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes.
Why else am I holding a torch over your field to burn it all down?
That's a very good question.
So how close to harvest time is it? Eh?
Wait. It's like, man, we really don't trust this guy anymore. That's crazy.
It's like, okay, we're still a ways off. Like these are fresh. We're only a couple months into the growing season here.
Yeah, I can make you pretty much ready to harvest in the next 32 hours.
That's a long time, but I mean, if you guys can do it,
Short compared to months.
fair enough.
And I'll let everyone else do their. I understand it's a splitting the party terrible idea. I'm just gonna burn these down.
Okay, could you not? Could you just hold your horses for a second?
Clearly, the DM, completely out of character. The DM is having issues with my plan.
No, the townspeople are having
Yeah,
issues.
I mean, a stranger walked into the town and said, "I'm burning down everything that you need to stay
Hey,
alive." I
that
would.
21 performance check did pretty well.
Well, you also have to remember, even a 21 performance, all they heard was somebody from the back of their crowd, essentially.
Being like, yeah, the warlock
we should
agreed
do
with
that.
me. Now, look, all right. So, can we maybe see like a demonstration of your ability before you do this, so we know that you can do it? I mean, we've heard of the warlock of Greenwood, but
God damn it.
most of those stories are about murdering drow.
Yeah, pass me some seeds.
All right, I got some seeds here. Here you go.
I take it, I dig a small hole, shove it down, cover the hole. This means I'm gonna have to take 3 short rests as opposed to 2.
Okay.
I turn to the other two while he's doing this, and I'm like, nose goes, I'm not staying with Richard. Oh, it's gay.
Yeah. Pretty much, I just grow the largest. What seeds were they?
These are some wheat seeds.
Yeah, I grow the largest amount of wheat, the largest, most full-bodied wheat they've ever seen.
Okay. That's really cool. All right. Then it's okay if you burn it down.
Cool. I toss a torch in.
Shouldn't we be specifically and more
Yeah.
thorough? Make sure nothing
It's
gets
already
out.
tossed in.
It's
Well-
already tossed in.
Well, we need to go close the perimeter because there's things in there, and we don't want the things to get out because the things are what are going to be the problem.
Richard cracks his knuckles again, casts plant growth around the area to create just kind of this wall of roots.
All right. So the fire starts to burn through these fields, and it moves fairly quickly through the four fields and kind of burns through the night. And people are like, okay, who wants to keep an eye on this? It's getting about time. People should probably be getting to sleep.
Someone else watch this. I need to rest for 30 minutes. And then I sit down and fall
We
asleep.
can watch it. I don't know what we're supposed to do. The wind come up and it get out of control, but I watch it for sure. Eh?
Well, we got some people that can help us put it out. I mean, the river's right there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because I need sleep. I don't mean to be that guy, but if you want Penn to go back to Happy Joy Penn,
Wait
I
a
need
second.
sleep.
Wait. I just reread this. How large is it? Half a mile or a mile worth of area for those 4 plots?
I would say they're probably about 1 acre each. So how big is an acre?
That's a good question. Oh, that translates between Canadian and American.
It's
How
2
about
acres and a hectare.
So
16 hectares in a mile. I don't.
4,000
remember.
square
Silly system.
meters.
Let's do it in meters.
I'm doing it in miles right now.
Thank you.
1 acre
Half a
is
mile is about just over a K, so just about 2.3 kilometers across.
Oh yeah, no, this is way less than half of them. I can do these 4 in like that. I don't need 32 hours. I just need the 1 8
All right.
hours. So the fields burn down, I guess.
All right, the fields burned down through the night, and you guys need to find a place to stay.
Oh, we don't just get to bank off that folk hero stick.
we don't get to bank off that folk hero.
Well, I do. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah,
I'm sleeping in the cart through this town. Cart.
Yeah. So I'm just rustic hospitality. They're letting me sleep in their house.
Very well. Mr. McMurphy lets you stay in his home.
If there's a tavern, I'm there. If there isn't, I'm finding the local drunk and basically moving into his house for the night.
There is a tavern, but they're down to wine.
Yeah. If I must, eh?
All right.
I tell you what, you put it in a big glass like a beer and we pretend, eh? So I'm drinking pints of wine.
Pints of wine are going down. The fields burn through the night.
Where'd you park the cart, Richard?
It's by the tavern.
Nice. I feel a little safer then. Before I go to sleep, though, I'm outside checking the radar because it's night.
Maybe we should have some kind of like taking
Daylight.
turns thing.
I thought Guy was watching the fire for the first shift.
He said he was watching the fire, but now he's in the tavern.
Geese says a lot of things.
Ah,
So I can watch because you seem like you need some sleep to maybe wake up on the better side of the cart.
I'm just going to like do that like very sad like like when you've had a bad day and you come home and like your mom you're just like you reach out for a hug very just like I'm just gonna try to hug her just like thank you it's been horrible.
Reach up and pat him on the back.
I will live in your basement forever.
And then I go back to the cart and I'm gonna kind of check to make sure no one's watching. Not that it's terribly much a secret, but I'm checking the radar because
All right.
I need to know.
You check the radar and you're able to dial in.
Mm.
He is way up north.
Like scary up north, like where he was born up north.
He is up north near the Spine of the World Mountains.
Keeps going back. Why does he keep going back? I'm keeping notes on this.
We know that, right? Isn't that where the dragon lair was?
We know that's where he went first, and then he immediately zipped down and around, and he ended up in the Star Mountains, and now he's there again, which is unsettling.
He's in a place called Cloudspire.
Do I need to take a check to know anything about this place? Like,
You can certainly do a history check to see if you know.
let's see if I do. Little old me. Ooh.
You know that Cloudspire was a...
Don't say it. If you say it was like a big battlefield or a
No.
fallen city.
It is a flying, mobile cloud giant fortress.
Yeah, that's worse.
I wondered when you were going to tie this in. Cool.
And it is up in a place where, I mean, normally it's not hanging out over there, but it occurs to you something that was said by Marcus Phoenix when he returned about a giant civil war.
Yep.
Oh God, wait.
And we know that Blackwind is not the source of this war because Marcus told us that he saw Blackwind watching them and trying to figure out what they were doing. And then when he found Marcus, he damn near killed him.
Yeah, but if it's a civil war, that means there's death. And where there's death.
Yeah, he's off getting dragons or giant zombies now. Yeah.
Click, 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 click.
Bet y'all are wishing you had your own necromancer, aren't you? Well,
I'm just gonna.
Two wrongs don't make a right, man.
you're not wrong. But
If I
sure.
If you may.
may, I'm going to kind of wake up from my 30-minute nap
Okay.
and just deal with this now, so I don't have to later. I'm going to cast Plant Growth one more time.
Okay.
I'll then go back to sleep. And I did the math. So I'm going to tell, what was his name?
McMurphy.
Murphy. I was going to say MacGuffin, but that's a foundation. That if he wants, he can add an extra 316 acres.
Yeah, that's a lot of where we live. So
Yeah. Well, anything you plant in this 316 acre area, plus the other 4 acres that I've just re-enriched, anything you plant, grow there, shall yield twice the amount for an entire year.
Oh, good. That'll cover old Margaret McGucket's rutabaga garden.
Yes. So she will have some pretty big rutabagas.
That's good.
And there's some wheat there, carrots, pretty much everything. Just go nuts.
You keep saying
Well,
wheat.
not to plant in that certain area,
So
and why?
when you come back out,
That have apples on them. Yeah, be careful. They're about the size of a human skull.
so when you come back out to the smoldering field to do your plant growth again,
Oh boy.
the Scarecrows are back. And they seem untouched by the flames, almost fresh.
God damn it. I still do the plant growth and I just...
You're just gonna waste it. They're gonna get poisoned again. They're probably made of poison and bullshit.
I'm just going to yell at them.
Like
Keith,
5 feet away from one, though, right? With the glasses on, so we know it's just normal, right?
Is it normal? Did
I
you
just-
look at it?
Well, he
Just
was,
look at
I
both
mean, he
the
was
crops
5 feet
and-
away from it with the glasses on, so I'm assuming if there was anything weird. Plus, it
If
got
there's anything weird,
magic,
Huck would have said something.
it, Eldritch Sight, so there's no magic in it.
But they're there.
This is an NOP, not our problem.
But there has to be something poisoning the crops.
Yeah, and that
I'm
therefore
going
it
to
is
yell out
our.
at them. I'm going to yell out to you guys to come and look at the Scarecrows because I am busy for 8 hours.
Did we sleep at all? Did
You
Uh,
got 30 minutes.
He did 30 minutes and then he got back up and
Is this when he's calling us over?
yeah.
Yeah. You guys
Oh,
were-
I didn't even get to sleep. I was taking notes on the Cloud Giant mobile bases, and God, I'm still cranky.
You can sleep when you're dead.
So when you look at these Scarecrow, you see the necrosis or the evil in them?
No, I just see that they're not touched by flames. And like the arm is pulsing as fingers have kind of rooted into the ground.
Full on into this plant growing right now.
So the evil, it don't ooze out from these things around the base of where they're standing?
I'm gonna go up and poke one of them with my sword.
Oh no.
This is a horrible idea.
I just thought of something, and I'm really concerned for you all of a sudden.
This is regularly Richard's move, so
Well, it reminded me of, it's a weird reference, but that thing in SpongeBob with the old lady at the ice cream stand from the movie where he just like touches her, and it's like, you know, the things that lure you in and then they're actually the big things underground.
Oh,
An
yeah.
anglerfish.
Anglerfish.
Yeah. That's why I suggested somebody else go and look.
So, Keith, you go up and you poke this scarecrow with your sword.
I don't like the way he said that.
I don't really like the way he says anything, but you know.
That's fair. So you go up, you give it a couple pokes with Duelist Companion. Duelist Companion in tones. This is kind of like the training dummies at the guild hall. And then it disappears into the ground.
Oh yeah, root life. Everything. It's a 0.5 mile radius. It's just a giant circle of that.
Okay.
Giant orb.
Of your plant growth.
Yeah, so it affects the underground too.
Yep.
Well, that's weird.
Please come back. Please don't leave me with them again.
I'm gonna talk to my sword. So, like, what you meant with, like, the dummy, so is it like how the dummy repairs itself? That this thing repairs itself?
It kind of felt the same.
And you said that bit out loud, right, Keith?
Yeah, I was talking to my sword, so.
Thank you. I've been waiting for you to say it out loud. So they're like smart scarecrow. It go
Maybe-
where it need to be, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Todd knows something about this and can confirm that, yes, they have just like, if a crow pecks at it too many times, it will pop back up.
Hey, Todd, you got iScarecrow in this field, eh? You got the app on your phone?
What? No, we don't. I mean,
We're a PC family.
we got.
These are Android scarecrows.
Yeah, these are droid scrolls. Okay? Come on.
But yes, without the product reference jokes, I'm checking to see if these are your scarecrow. They are sort of semi-intelligent, sort of self-preserving, eh?
He would have said something, wouldn't he?
No, we don't have anything like that. We're just a small community. We can't afford stuff like that.
Well, you do.
Yeah, you just saw it right here in front of you, eh?
Yeah, that's weird. I never seen anything like that. I'm a little rattled here. But then again, a magic woodman just showed up to town, and I mean, he's famous. I've heard of him, but
Burn.
now he's talking to the roots and growing up plants.
Not talking to anything.
He's like a rock star. He come in, wreck the place, and then have to do community service to make up for it, eh?
It's not unlike that, but it's,
Are the other scarecrows still up?
yeah, the other ones are still up.
Richard is I'm going to point an Eldritch Blast at one.
Okay.
Just fire one off. Because that's pretty much all I can do from this position.
All right, you hit it, and it shatters to pieces.
Why?
I aim at another one.
That's
All right.
your answer for everything, eh?
It's a
It's a
simple
warlock.
answer.
And the second one shatters to pieces.
I aim at the third one.
And the third one shatters to pieces.
So the fourth one's still underground.
Yep.
And there were only 4, right?
I'm going to sit and watch that first one that I poked, like, watch for it to come back.
Okay.
I'll go.
So there's a small post-sized hole where it was drawn back in the loose earth that's still kind of charred, but is now churning up with roots and like seedlings from Richard's plant growth. And as you look down into it, the ground begins to shake.
I'll take a couple steps back.
Yeah, that's not me.
I'm over there near her because I was walking out to try something, so I'm probably about halfway between where she is and the front.
And
Just
then
hope you don't wake up mom, eh?
another tremor shakes the ground.
I'm standing, kind of waiting to see it
Just
pop up.
waiting to see what happens. A third one happens. And then Todd McMurphy says, "There's some weird shit going on here." And then, just as Todd McMurphy finishes, a pair of jaws clad in shiny, slick scales emerge from the ground, clamp around him, and then quickly climb back underground, and the ground begins to shake again.
Oh no.
What is that?
Well, we're done here. Let's go. That was not in character.
Gee, I don't think you understand the idea of stuck for 8 hours.
Is he actually stuck? Can he not remove himself even by like?
Not if he wants to complete this.
Yeah, he can leave at any time, eh? He's just being belligerent, staying here.
Well, he is fulfilling the task that he said he was going to. But we're going to end there
Oh, yeah.
with the death of one Todd McMurphy.
Did he die?
Yeah, he got one-shotted by
No,
this
no
giant werewolf
panic.
we have to fight now.
I figured we'd cut him open and he'd be like, "Man, that's wacky."
No, generally when someone gets eaten by a giant underground beast, they're pretty dead. But I guess that's what happens when you've got too many warlocks.
So thanks again, everybody, for joining us today. As always, keep watch for our shows throughout the week. Occasionally, we're playing video games. There's a lot of stuff happening. Lilith and Kashano are playing some games that they've never played before. And, of course, all these fine people here that we have in front of me are content creators in their own right. So definitely keep track of the things that they have going on. They all have little links in their bars, and we have links down below for people who want to hop on our Discord, hop on our Facebook page, and give us a follow on our channel if you want to keep track of everything that's going on here. Does anybody have any new content to announce?
Oh boy, do I.
All right.
Today, I posted a video on a game from Steam that I picked up during the summer sale on necromancy, where I play a necromancer, and boy, howdy, was it fun and adorable.
And
So
you fulfill your live stream.
it's beautiful. It's adorable.
Everything is wonderful.
So yeah, that's on my YouTube.
Excellent. So be sure to check that out on Noctum Sky on YouTube. Who else got stuff?
We had 2 new videos last week. We'll have 2 more this week, and tomorrow's video is another cabinets and cocktails. So you get to see a fun retro game played, learn some trivia, and find out how to make a specialty drink.
That's amazing. Be sure to check that out on Roll for Initiative's YouTube channel. Can't wait to see it. That sounds fun. I don't drink, but I'll check it out. And what's going on in Dirty 20?
There's a thing on Deadlands, a new game that, it's a very old game, but it's basically a primer on how to play the game for reasons which will become clear in the next couple of weeks. But I'd really rather talk about a video that Dawn did last week. How gaming changes people's lives and women's lives in particular. That was an amazing video, and I think everybody should go and watch it.
Oh, thank you.
Agreed. Everyone should go watch that. And what's going on with the Chronicles of Richard?
So the Memoirs of Richard are taking a little break. I am doing a lot of work for a lot of stuff. I will try to get some out soon, but please bear with me.
All right.
I will get stuff out.
And
eventually.
if you want to get caught up on that content, check it out on mercsofmischief.com. Until then, thanks everybody for joining us. Be sure to keep track of our shows. Give us a follow. Check us out on Facebook and Discord in the down low parts. And until next time, class dismissed.